we're building up towards the start of the Superstock race. And before we do that, of course, we did have the sidecars. So I'll just give you the lowdown on the sidecars. And the fastest of the practice laps went to Dave Molyneux, 115.140 miles an hour. Next fastest was Simon Neary, 114.18. Then a bit of a gap before John Holden at 111.94. So Holden and Winkle have been looking for that bit of extra pace all the way through TT. Doesn't look like it's right there now. Conrad Harrison was next quickest, 110.5, and the winner the other day, Klaus Klaffenbach, 110.44. Fastest through the speed trap at Sulby was Simon Neary, 145.9, followed by Claffey, 144.3, and John Holden, 142.2, beg your pardon, the same speed as Tim Reeves, 142.2, with Dave Molyneux, 141.3. And there were some retirements as well on that practice lap. Gary Knight and Dan Knight retired at the bottom of Bray Hill. That must be so frustrating when you only get one lap and you go out so soon. Gary Bryan and Mark Sayers retiring at Glen Darroch Road. Dylan Lynch and Aaron Galligan retiring at Ballaft Bridge. Nick Dukes and William Morley at Kerrowmoor. And Dave Wallace and Mark Howard at Guthrie's. Oh, pardon me. Right, that's given you the details from the sidecars, and it's attention now to the solos. And let's see if Chris Kinney's got anyone to talk to.
Well, right in the middle of it all here, right next to the Padgetts and also the HM plant truck, and a very pensive, I think would be the right word to say, Tim O'Hanlon, pensive John McGuinness, I think it'd be about right?
Yes, it's not very often you can say that on a Monday of a race week that he hasn't had any even podiums.
Yeah, very pensive and very thoughtful, I think would be the correct word to say there. Maybe go and grab a quick word with him in a minute, but we'll have a word with Michael Rutter. Don't forget, quickest man in practice is Michael Dunlop, and well, I wonder if Michael's going to pick himself up. What about Bruce Anstey, a retirement in the 600 race, and I'm sure not very, very happy, known for many years as Mr. Superstock, and well, it's just not kind of come to him, is it really? Be quiet, at least he's smiling anyway. What happened in the Supersport?
Don't know, I just went off song from the start and just wouldn't pull sixth gear, and that was it.
So big disappointment there, but this class you've won many a time at all the big three events. I mean, got a big chance here?
Maybe, see how we go.
Are they trying to put you off?
Yeah, definitely, I think.
But you knew straight away with the 600 race it wasn't right, yeah, straight away, as soon as you got the bottom of Bray, or?
Yeah, as soon as I got through, where was it, up the hill, somewhere.
Up the hill over that way, over there, yeah?
Somewhere there.
Down in Castletown, yeah, what do you like? What about the Superstock race is going to be good? You've got Michael, Keith, Ryan, Michael Rutter. Well, where do you start?
Yeah, could be any one of us really, so just have to wait and see what happens. Actually, he's going really well, so see how we go.
Need something to get your confidence back up a wee bit, eh?
Yeah, it's just been struggling all week. I was hoping for a good 600 race, so that didn't happen, so hopefully see how we go in this one.
All right, Bruce, thanks for your time. Thank you, Bruce. Right. So Bruce will be off again at nearly said number 5 there again. Fourth quickest in practice, Michael Rutter on the Superstock machine. Let's maybe jump in and have a word with Michael. And he's been kicking your heels all morning, have you?
Yeah, I just gutted I wasn't out there, you know. I feel like I missed out.
Less track time. They've had more track time than you now.
Yeah, I know. I've done a lot of laps on the HM plant bike though, and it's, you know, to be honest, the bike's better than me. It's just me to get up to speed.
127.5. That's your quickest ever lap as well, isn't it?
Oh yeah, you know, I'll keep learning a bit more. To be honest, you know, I've won a race around here, and you think, you know where you're going 100%, but the bike's changed so much. Places I was going, you know, real quick years ago, it's flat out on these things now. So
was that the Junior TT 98? Was it somewhere?
Yeah, 98. Yeah,
wow.
A long time ago.
That was 12 years ago, Michael. People say, but then he's got a lot of experience around here, but you haven't, because you went away for a long time.
Yeah, I went away for 7 years. The biggest mistake I could have done, really. With me as well, I need loads of confidence in everything, and you know, it's brilliant of HM Plant to lend me the bike and that, and you know, but it's still not my bike yet. You know, it takes me a season to get used to one, but you know, if I can go out there and get a top 6, I'll be well happy.
All right, Michael, thank you, cheers.
Thank you, cheers.
There's Michael Rutter there. I think I definitely one of the little dark horses, I reckon, for this race as well. The man on pole position is number 14. That will be Michael Donald, who I don't think has been moved up the order. Let's just have a double check on that. No, he hasn't. He stayed where he is. His bike is here, and he's not here yet. Yeah, let's have a look. Yeah, he's not here yet, but they're actually working on his bike. So let's maybe have a word with Keith and Keith had a bit of a do this morning actually at Braddon Bridge. Those of you watching down there at Braddon Bridge will probably be very, very aware of what happened with Keith, and we'll grab a quick word with them. We'll stay in the shade, I think, Keith, to keep our heads out of it.
Yeah, it's warmed up quite nicely, isn't it? Hopefully the conditions are going to suit the Dunlops a little bit more than the Pirellis is what I'm hoping.
It's a bit cooler this morning, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, the conditions this morning were pretty much perfect. Fortunately, I just went out there like a bull in a china shop, made far too many mistakes, bounced off a bridge. And
what was that about Braddon Bridge? Tell us what happened there.
Yeah, I went in pretty hot, and I kind of used quite a lot of back brake coming in to come round, and I got in the gas just too early, and it just turned the bike in way faster than normal, and then I realised I was going for the railing, so I had to pick the bike up. But unfortunately, when I picked the bike up, my body was still hanging off it, so I rattled along the railings. And I thought, well, you might as well just stop, the race is over. And I thought, well, I don't come to the TT to stop. Like, you know, this happens once a year, and this is the biggest event for me. So we kind of got the head down, and after the pit stop, you know, I spoke to the boys in the pits, and they're like, well, look, just get back on it. I think it was 9th or something. A guy came past me, and it kind of G'd me up a little bit. And then the last lap, I kind of got the head down, and I felt really good in the last lap. I was sore, obviously, but yeah, it was nice. It was the easiest lap of the race, and you know, we got a lap record, but a lap record's nothing when you're not there at the beginning of the race. You know, I'm here trying to win races, and I just need to be a little bit more patient, I think, in the first 2 laps.
What about the callless BMW here? Big chance for you after winning on it at the Northwest.
Yeah, we've kind of clicked quite well with the BMW, so hopefully we've sorted out a few handling issues that we had for it in the middle of the week. Had with it, and it's a little bit of an experiment that we're going to try here, but you know, if the bike's right, then there's no reason why we can't be there at the end.
All right, Keith, I'll let you get ready. Thank you.
Thanks, mate.
Cheers, thank you. Let's head up to, they're trying to get everybody, the 1 to 30 up against the wall. Just back to Mavis for a quick second.
Merci Chris. J'annonce que Marc Granier va porter le numéro 70. Il a sauté les rangs du numéro 84, donc il va porter le numéro 70. Charlie.
Oh, hi Mavis. Sorry about that. You just caught me unawares there, just while I was updating some notes. So back to you, Chris.
You can update your notes. I'm going to have a word with Derek Bryan, actually. What a great finish in that 600 race. Derek, what a great performance there in the first race, young man.
Not too bad yet.
Flying. What was your quickest lap?
Haven't a clue.
Yep, you don't care, do you?
No.
Great performance, so nice and steady, and no moments or nothing?
No, just caught a few back markers last time, and not too bad.
What about the Superstock race then? What do you think?
Oh, I'll tell you in an hour and a half.
An hour and a half. Derek, he absolutely Mr. Understatement, that boy is. He really, really is. But a good TT rider, and I think Charlie mentioned that race he had with Craig Atkinson, wasn't it, at the Manx Grand Prix. But one man I think who it could be a bit of a dark horse in this one is definitely, you've got to look out for Ryan Farquhar. You cannot discount Ryan Farquhar. Maybe a word quickly. God, blimey, had to be quick then on my feet, didn't I? Hi Carl, ready?
How's it going, Chris?
What happened in the 600 then? You just give me one of those stares if to say don't even come near me, and thought, oh, I'm not messing with you.
Mate, just oil leak all over my boots, and my feet were off the pegs, and then steering damper come loose, so I thought I'd just park it up, mate.
Play it safe and look out for this one, because this is where you've had your arguably your best performances, isn't it, in the Superstock?
Yeah, it is, Chris, but to be fair, we struggled with this bike all week. It's been a pig, so to see what happens, mate.
Radical changes before today?
Yeah, probably in the wrong direction, like, but I don't know. You never know. We'll see what happens.
All right, Carl, thank you very much for your time then. There's Paul Owen as well. He probably wants to talk as well. You're not shy of a microphone, are you?
No. I'm talking in it, yeah.
Yeah. What are you? I'm going to ask you about your 600 race.
It was a good race, actually. Started off, I thought, getting my head down. I haven't had much luck all week. I thought just, well, as they say, steady away, but you fly out down Bray Hill. Just got into it. John Burrows caught me, so waved him through, tagged on the back of him, and it was me, John Burrows, Paul Dobbs, and Ben Wiley, 1.4 of us on the road. We had a great race, finished 20th, I think it was, so...
Pleased with that?
Yeah. I want to get him a 120, I'd done 119.7 again. I'm like, no, but...
Pull your finger out.
Wednesday, be on it for Wednesday.
All right, and
on it like jam on toast.
You're on it. You're going a bit greyer as well, I've noticed.
It's titanium, it is.
All right, okay. Thank you very much, Paul Owen. You can always rely on Paul for a gentle word. Tim, what's up, mate?
Yes. Just number 60, Alan Connor's lost some equipment. A race visor, a large funnel, 2 rolls of duct tape and a bag of cable ties. If anybody's found them, could they ring 260116.
Thank you. You get a job on radio, you could, with a voice like that. Thank you very much. That's Alan Connor there. He's at number 60. So if you want to try and get in touch with his crew as the machines are being brought up to the top onto the road. And virtually all the machines will be up here now. So let's look at that practice leaderboard. Hopefully, might be able to get with Michael in a second. He should be up here now. See if we can find him. To be truthful, very, very disappointed. He got third place in the Supersport TT, and he's disappointed. Davey Lappin wheels his bike out as well. So, Mike, James Hillier over there. Don't see young Michael yet, whether he's up here. Yeah, it is very hot up here on the start line. A lot hotter than what it was even this morning. So I can't see Michael here yet. Yes, I can. He's coming to me now, so let's maybe grab a word with the man. Mickey, all right, it's a bit warmer now.
A bit more heat in it there now, yeah.
What about you? How are you?
Yeah, it's hands up in the air and just I'll have a go at it now and see how we got on.
It's going to be a tough old race, this Superstock, isn't it? All very evenly matched.
I think it's going to be, this will probably be the hardest race to win this week, to tell you the truth. Just, there's a good 7 good lads here. This is going to be hard work now, and whatever you can do in this first lap, which I'm going to make amends for it now.
Oh, is this from the 600 race earlier on?
What's that?
On the pipe?
We're going for it.
All right, thank you very much, Michael. You heard it there from him. He's going to be on the pipe, as he said. He's going to be going for it. Connor Cummins could be the man to watch in this as well. Another dark horse. Connor, well, down in 9th position on the practice leaderboard at 125.812, and I did have a top 10 finish in that 600 race, but I'm sure he'll be looking for a bit better. Adrian Archibald as well. Speed limit penalty for you, and then a retirement.
Yeah, I just have been having trouble with the bike for most of the race. I know there's a problem with the clutch, and just give up on them.
And you just thought, nah, let's give it a rest.
Yeah, that's it, you know, so hopefully we'll maybe get a better run here.
Let's have a look at your practice time. Down in 13th, that's your number actually.
Yeah, that's right, you know, but I had a few issues with the bike in practice, so hopefully it'll work out here.
And fix it up. All right, thank you. Thanks, Adrian. Cheers, Adrian, off at number 9, 13th quickest in practice, and his lap time of, let's have a look, 124.232. We spoke to Keith Moore. There's Hutchie being interviewed for the North One television, which will be on tonight. Michael Rutterdale, keep quiet as we go past the old microphones and everything, and I don't want to be walking into anybody. No, Connor, in fact, I know where Connor will be. Connor will be in his traditional spot. Is he over there, Tim? Can you see him? Is he over there hiding in the... No, he's not hiding in the bus stop, so he's not there yet. So we've talked to Michael Dunn, cut to Keith Moore. Haven't seen Ryan yet, actually. Keith, have you seen Ryan Farquhar yet either? No, he's not here either. Maybe they're all leaving it late, because it is very, very warm here on the line. I've only got, 10 minutes to go to the start of this, Superstock race. Am I being pulled here? What's up?
Connor's coming.
Connor's coming. That's very good, that is. How can you see Connor? You're taller than me. That would probably have something to do with it as well. And it's not as if you can't miss Connor walking through a crowd, can you? He's about 6'8" or whatever he is, and he just walked straight by me, and I missed him as well. Let's have a word with the Conrod. All right, son?
Hi, how's it going?
Yeah, disappointment this morning there, Connor. 600 Quacker just doesn't seem to have the legs, does it?
No, I seem to be still having issues with the quick shifter and all on her, and can't quite get to the bottom of it, but I just did the best job I could really, and we got home. It's the first finish of the week, and that's what I wanted really, and we can start pressing on now.
What about this Superstock race? It's going to be, just talked to Michael Dunlop, and he said there's 8 guys could win this.
Yeah, well, you know, it's going to be a tight one. The big bikes, the class is more my sort of cup of tea, so yeah, I mean the bike's going well, and we worked on the setup, so there's no reason why I can't get it right now.
What about that, sir? I've not spoke to you since Saturday as well, and I think the words of every Manxman and Manxwoman around the track were like, no.
Yeah, well, these things are sent to try.
It happens, doesn't it? Right, I'll let you go because Mr. Whittam wants a word. He's more important than me. Thank you very much to Jamie Whittam there, who's having James Whittam, as he likes to be known, speaking to Connor Cummins. And there's Guy Martin sat down there now. Let's go and see what a Guy's up to. And there's a gentleman with his little steady cam. Aren't these amazing, these modern technologies? I'll tell you what, be on eBay that next week. Let's have a word with the big guy. All right, Geese, all right?
Not bad, how are you?
I want to ask you about the Charlie Williams chat show the other morning, Guy. A lot of people have been stopping me saying that was the best hour of radio they've heard, apart from the Archers, in a long time.
You talking tripe now?
No, honestly, no. A couple of people stopped me and said that was fantastic.
What was we talking about?
No, what you were talking about with Charlie Williams.
Oh, right, about the Russian...
and the steam engines and all sorts.
Yeah, that's interesting. That the boys... I was listening to Radio 4 yesterday about the 17. It's going to take them 17 months to get there.
Yeah, that's
Never
right.
mind, I thought that was a round trip. No, 17 months to get there. And they're just going to see what this, all them, 7 blokes in a confined space will do for 17 months. Mega.
Year 743 in the Big Brother house.
Hey, what? Oh, don't get me started on any of that rammel.
It's rubbish, isn't it?
Oxygen thieves, I call that lot.
What about this race, Guy? Let's put this morning out of the way and the Saturday out of the way. What about this one?
Yeah, we was there or thereabouts last year.
The bike's good. Yeah, it's good. Is this going out on radio?
This is live now on the radio.
Oh, is it? What day are we on? Monday, aren't we?
Yeah, Monday.
No, I just my dad was meant to be over, but he didn't pull his finger out, so he'd probably be sat listening at work, I reckon. So yeah.
Say hello to him.
Yeah, well he should have pulled his finger out and got over really. So he's let the side. I'm telling him he's let the side down. Well, yeah, we'll be right. We'll be right.
One more question before I go off and let you get ready for the race. Did you go to the vintage trucks yesterday? The vintage stuff?
Oh, yeah, lovely.
Did you go? Yeah.
Well, there's steam right.
Portsmouth, yeah.
Yeah. Tell me, Dad, they had a couple of. He'd have been into him. There was
tell him.
Oh, there was a 1988 classic long nose 143 Scania, long bonnety thing. Yeah, he'd have been into that. He'd have been excited. So yeah, and a nice TVO Folsom Major. So yeah, there was good stuff. Yeah. And a big thanks. We went from there to Stuart Crane and his missus. We went to Carol, his missus. We fed and watered like kings. So yeah, thank very much to them.
Thank you, Guy Martin.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I have no idea. I haven't got a clue what he was just on about there with all them various things. But hey, I'm sure it'll come out to roost one day, and maybe somebody will explain it. Maybe put it in a picture for me. Ian Hutchinson there, just getting a camera on him as well, and Ian Locker as well. Again, Ian on that 600 Kawasaki said to me the Northwest 200 it just doesn't seem to have the legs. And let's get in and have a word with Hutchie. Deep in thought before the start of this Superstock race. And all right, fella.
All right.
Yeah, good. Ready for this?
Yeah.
Do you think it's a good idea, them giving you this big break, having the sidecar practice? You boys off that hot 600 race this morning can now obviously get a bit of a break and get ready for this.
Yeah, I'm glad it's going soon. Last year we had till tea time to wait. It's better to just get going with it,
5 times the TT winner. There's already been talk about, I'm not going to put it to you, I don't put pressure on you, but people have stopped me, do you reckon he can win this? Do you reckon he can win that? If it happens, it happens, and you know that round here, don't you?
Yeah, it's easy for everyone to say what's going to go on when they're sat watching, and I'll just do my best, and we'll see what happens at the end.
All right, Hutchie, I'll let you go.
Thank you.
There you go, Ian Hutchinson, and let's maybe have a word with John as well. Good job, I'm a little fella trying to squeeze through those gaps, isn't it?
Yeah, you get through there. I wouldn't get through there, but you get through.
Well, because you got that back hump on, that's why you can't get out. What about the 600 this morning, John? Just a bit slow, like you said the other day, or?
Yeah, basically. I mean, God, I've been around a long time and I've raced a long time, and that's probably, one of the best I've ever ridden the 600 round here. And I seen P7 on my board. I couldn't believe it, and I just wasn't good enough on the day, and there's no excuses because my teammate on the same machine won the race, so the bike was definitely good enough to do the job, but I wasn't good enough on the day.
What about this Superstock one? I've seen you in the Padgett truck there before, just head down, deep thought.
Yeah, I mean, I should really, on paper, go pretty good on this bike. Last year I was leading the race and had a tyre problem, and then, it's just, I just need a good start and get going. I ride it week in, week out. It's probably the bike I'm the most familiar with all year, and if I don't have a result on this, I might as well just get on the ferry and head towards Isham again.
Yeah, as long as you pay for the ferry this time.
That's it. Yeah.
Thank you very much, John McGuinness there. And the bikes have been wheeled out onto the grid there now. And Hutchie, I think, feeling a little bit of pressure there. But hey, you would be really, wouldn't you, in this sort of thing? Right, let's have a little look then at that leaderboard. We're about, 4 minutes away. So Michael Dunlop quickest. Haven't had a word with Ryan Farquhar yet. I've got to try and find Ryan because I think he could be a little wee bit of a dark horse here for this one. We talked to Connor, there's Gary Johnson, Gary go well this morning as well. Michael Dunlop deep in thought as well, and just squeeze past that gentleman there. And excuse me, fella, just get through there. What happened this morning in the 600, Dan Stewart?
We've been having a bit of bother with the 600 all practice week, and we've never really got it sorted. The motor was knocking, it wouldn't rev, so no point in being out there doing more damage.
I'll let you get ready for this one. Thanks, Dan. Cheers. So that's the line on that one, and I think the dark horse, everybody's dark horse for this is you, Ryan Farquhar.
I don't know, I'm not putting myself under any pressure really, but
you don't do that.
Had a good practice, and hopefully it'll go as well here as it didn't practice, but we'll just do our best.
Do your best. All right, thank you very much, Ryan Farquhar there. So and they're just topping up Ryan's, beg your pardon, Connor Cummins McAdoo Kawasaki tank there, and we are getting ready for this Superstock race is going to be a belter. Here's Cameron Donald, and I don't think Cameron happy with that 600 position. Cam, just a quick word before we go. Disappointed with the 600?
Yeah, I mean that's where I finished, so bigger and better things in this race. Big shout out to all the crew back home listening in Australia, and do my best to make you proud in this one.
All right, Cameron, thank you very much. We'll let him get going and get ready for the machine. We've had a word with Bruce. Excuse me there, Mister. Cheers, thanks fella, thank you. Let's get to the front as Hutchie throws the leg over the Padgetts, and could this be a hat-trick for Ian Hutchinson? Ian Locker off at number 3, John McGuinness off at number 2. Road conditions dry, weather clear and dry, visibility good. Perfect conditions for Superstock racing. Charlie Lambert.
You're absolutely right, Chris. We're looking down towards that start line now, and just emerging under the starting gate is the number one machine of the 41-year-old Bruce and Steve from Wellington in New Zealand, aboard the Relentless Suzuki by Taz GSXR Suzuki, now with the red plates on, of course. Less than 2 minutes to go before the start of racing here. So Anstey will take them off at plate number 1, followed by John McGuinness at 2, 10-second intervals as ever. Third to go will be Ian Locker, then it's 4 Ian Hutchinson, 5 Keith Amor, 6 Cameron Donald, 7 Michael Rutter and Guy Martin, 8. Will the winner come from one of those? But don't discount Connor Cummins. Connor, who looked so impressive on that Superstock Kawasaki at the Northwest 200. In fact, he took pole position before coming to Cropper at University early in the race. So Connor could also be one of the dark horses that Chris was talking about for victory here. In practice, it was Michael Dunlop who was quickest, with Keith Amor second and Ryan Farquhar the third fastest. But now we are waiting with 1 minute to go before the start of the Superstock TT, sponsored by Royal London 360. 4 laps of the famous mountain course, 150.92 miles, that's 242.8 kilometres. The race won last year by Ian Hutchinson in a clean sweep for Honda, with Guy Martin taking second place and Keith Amor taking third. The lap record 129.74 set by Hutchie last year. So will we see the first 130 mile an hour lap on a super stock machine? That could well be on the cards, because conditions now are very good indeed. Light cloud and blue sky overhead, dry, the road is clear, visibility is superb, and we wait for the action to get underway, as it will do in just a few moments from now. Coming down towards the last 10 seconds, everybody sitting in the grandstand rapidly concentrating on that line of bikes waiting to go off one by one. We count them down now, and there is Mike Crellitt who waves the flag, and we are now racing, and there goes Bruce on the Suzuki. Bruce Anstey is away, the winner of this race in 07, 06 and 05, and its predecessor, the Production 1000 in 04. Now John McGuinness, the front wheel lifting off the tarmac as it passes below us here on the Padgett's Racing Honda. John, who has never won this race. Next to go, number 3, Ian Locker. Away goes Ian up through the gearbox on the Black Horse Kawasaki. Connor Cummins, British Superstock bike, being ridden by Ian this afternoon. Now here goes the man of the TT so far. And that is the sound of the Padgett's Racing Honda of Ian Hutchinson, now a 5 times TT winner. That's the yellow and red fed machine of Keith Amor on the Corliss Jackson Racing BMW S1000R, and next off is number 6, Cameron Donald. Cameron's off and racing on the Relentless Suzuki, and next to go will be number 7, Michael Rutter. Not the most tidy of starts by Michael, but he's got it going now, no problems. Michael, a former TT winner on 600 machinery, representing HM Plant Honda today, didn't have a ride this morning in the Supersport. Now Guy Martin. Well, Guy's had a few bits of emotional baggage wafting around, hasn't he, today? Let's hope he's put all that out of his mind and concentrates on doing the business. 9 is Adrian Archibald, Suzuki for the AMA racing team, and next off will be number 10. And that's the big local hope from Ramsey, Connor Cummins, on that distinctive McAdoo outfit, the purple and the aquamarine, no mistaking him. 5th in the British Superstocks Championship at the moment. And next off is 11, Gary Johnson. 28 years of age, from Brigg in Lincolnshire. Gary on the AIM Racing Suzuki. And now Ryan Farquhar lifts the left foot up onto the pegs on the KMR Kawasaki. The KMR team named after Keeley and Meyer, Ryan's daughters. And next is 13, Dan Stewart. Top 10 finish in this race for the last 3 years for Dan on the Honda. And now 14, Michael Dunlop. Absolute determination, fierce determination, sometimes frightening determination by this young fella on the Hunts Motorcycles Marlow Construction Honda, yet to finish in the Superstock. He'll want to put that right. And there goes Carl Rennie with a big wheelie, that front wheel really lifting off the ground as Carl gets the power down, passing down below the footbridge on the PRF Suzuki. Next to go should be number 16, Steve Mercer, but I'm looking up towards the line and I'm not seeing Steve. The flag waves once again, and it is number 17, so no sign of Steve Mercer. Don't know what the problem is there. It's 17, Mark Miller on the Fuchs BMW, who is off and away. And now one of the men of the morning, that's Dan Neen, lying in 3rd place at one stage in the Supersport, had to settle for 5th. but he's racing again on the Marks Bloom Racing Suzuki. Next off is 19, James Hillier. That's James on the Bournemouth Kawasaki, and Mark Buckley is next to the line. Mark Buckley on the blue Fed machine, the Kawasaki, and in fact, looking up towards the line, it looks more like John Burrows to me. So Mark Buckley is also a non-starter, or at least not taking his place on the roster, because it is John Burrows who goes next. John Burrows on the Aymar Train Racing Suzuki number 21. Next is number 22, no doubts about that. That's William Dunlop. Only his second Superstock race here at the TT on the CD Racing entered Suzuki. Next off will be number 23, Derek Bryan. Derek from the Republic of Ireland, former Manx Grand Prix winner on the Hunky Dory Racing Kawasaki. Next to the line is number 24, Ian Mackman, and those bright colours of the PRF racing team from Burscough in Lancashire. Twice 16th, Ian. And away he goes. Next to the line is number 25, Ian Pattinson. Ian Pattinson is away, scaring a seagull that just wafts towards Glencrutchery Road. Ian Pattinson on the Yamaha R1. 26 is Paul Dobbs. Paul Dobbs is racing with the Kiwi on his helmet, but we are off now to Glen Helen and Dave Christian.
Yeah, the road's still quiet here, Charlie, but the crowd are stirring. They sense something's about to come whistling down the road. Bright sunshine here, the shadows cast across the road, track conditions perfectly dry as they have been all day, and here's the first racer. That's Bruce Anstey safely through Glen Helen and starting the climb up towards Kirkmichael. Here's McGuinness. He's safely through as well, smooth as ever. And he's just a couple of seconds out on Bruce Anstey there. McGuinness just pulled a couple of seconds out on Anstey. Third bike through is Ian Locker, that bright green Kawasaki, safely through and climbing up and away. There's Hutchie. He's safely through as well and speeding off up the hill now. As the fifth machine comes into view, that's Keith Aymor. He's safely through. Provisional leaderboard is Aymor leads in first place, number 5, Keith Aymor, and he's got 0.65 of a second on Hutchinson. Cameron Donald safely through. He slots into third place, a second down on Hutchie. In fourth, number 2, John McGuinness. He's just 0.6 of a second down. Michael Rutter safely through as well. That's McGuinness fourth, 0.69 of a second down on third place, Cameron Donald. Here's Guy Martin. Fantastic style through Glen Helen, Guy Martin. He's safely through and away off up the hill, but he's a little bit off the pace, slotting into 8th place on the leaderboard. Here's Adrian Archibald. He's safely through as well, and Connor's right behind him. Connor has pulled out some time on Adrian Archibald there. Connor slots into 3rd place on the leaderboard, Archibald into 9th. Next machine comes into view. That's Gary Johnson. He's up and away and out, heading up towards Sarah's Cottage. Closely followed by Ryan Farquhar. Farquhar takes the top spot on the leaderboard here at Glen Helen on lap 1. Leading number 12, Ryan Farquhar, who's 0.8 of a second ahead of second place Keith Aymor. Aymor in turn 0.65 seconds ahead of third place Ian Hutchinson. Dan Stewart goes through at 13 and Michael Dunlop 14. Dunlop slots into second place behind Farquhar. The lead then lap 1 on Glen Helen. In first place number 12 Ryan Farquhar. Second number 14 Michael Dunlop, 0.24 of a second down on Farquhar. Third place is number 5 Keith Aymor, 0.64 of a second down on Dunlop. Fourth, number 4 Ian Hutchinson, 0.65 down on Aymor. 15 goes through, that's Carl Rennie. In 5th place, just 0.2 of a second down on Hutchinson. It's local lad number 10 Connor Cummins. 6th place, number 6 Cameron Donald, 0.88 of a second down on Cummins. 7th place, number 2 John McGuinness. McGuinness 0.69 of a second down on Donald. In 8th place, number 7 Michael Rutter, who's just 0.03 of a second down on McGuinness. 19 goes through, that's James Hillier safely through Glen Helen. And what a close battle that is at the top of the leaderboard. Just fractions of a second separating the top 5, 6, 7, 8 riders. So this race really still is anybody's at this early stage. But the lead at lap 1 at Glen Helen, in the lead, it's number 12 Ryan Farquhar, who's just 1/4 of a second ahead of number 14 Michael Dunlop. 21 goes through, that's John Burrows, going nice and steady here through Glen Helen, and he's closely followed by 22 William Dunlop, who's put in quite a big charge there to catch him near enough on the road. So it's Farquhar, 1/4 of a second ahead of Michael Dunlop. In third, number 5 Keith Amor, 0.6 of a second down on Dunlop. Fourth, number 4 Ian Hutchinson, 0.65 of a second down on Amor. Fifth, number 10, Connor Cummins, 1/5 of a second down on Hutchie. Sixth, number 6, Cameron Donald, 0.8 of a second down on Connor Cummins. Seventh, it's number 2, John McGuinness, who's 0.69 of a second down on Donald. Eighth, number 7, Michael Rutter, 0.03 of a second down on McGuinness. Ninth, number 11, Gary Johnson, 0.16 of a second down on Rutter. And making up the top 10, it's number 3, Ian Locker, 1.1 seconds down on Johnson. Back to the grandstand.
TT is here. But before you're tempted to hit the throttle, remember the TT course is made up of public roads with people going about their everyday lives. Make sure you know your limits and ride within them. Obey the speed limits and be aware of other road users. Also ensure you only pull in and stop where it's safe to do so. Watch your speed and remember, if you're riding in a group, please leave safe gaps. Stay alert, stay alive. Brought to you by the Department of Infrastructure's Road Safety Unit.
Would owners of domestic animals and livestock are joining the TT course, please ensure that they are secure during practice and race periods.
TT race timing brought to you by Graham London, the official TT timing partner.
Manx Radio TT.
Well, it's a real shame he couldn't have been here just a couple of moments ago. We've just seen, or rather heard, James Edmeades departing on the Redline Motorcycles KTM. The KTM making its debut at the TT this year, and a real throaty sound it made as it departed down Glen Crutchery Road. We've seen 58 David Johnson, 59 James McCulloch also depart. Some additional non-starters for you: 35 Robert Barber, 46 Jim Hodson, and 55 Roger Marr. They are all additional non-starters, but it's really so tight at the top of the leaderboard, very difficult to extract too much from it at this early stage. When they went past Dave at Glen Helen, a bit more daylight appearing at Balaf, where Ryan has now got a lead of almost 2 seconds over Michael Dunlop. 1.56 is the exact split, with Connor now in third place. Connor Cummins has moved up to third place. He's 1.7 seconds down on Michael, with Hutchie fourth, and Keith Amor, who was in third place, now dropping down to fifth. But as I say, it is all still very, very tight, and it'll probably be at least before the end of this lap before it gets properly unravelled. So we wait to go over to Ramsey Hairpin with bated breath to see exactly how things are going to shape up when they come past Roy. And in fact, that moment is fast approaching. So off we go to the north of the island and Roy Moore.
Yes, it's incredibly close there, and it looks as though 12, 14 and 10, we'll have to wait for them to go through before we get the overall positions here at Ramsey Hairpin on lap 1 off this Superstock, sponsored by Royal London 360. Well, everybody's moved down at Stella Maris, and they can hear outside the helicopter up above, which indicates that we're waiting a machine. Very, very fast approach of number 2, John McGuinness, who has got past now on the road Bruce Anstey, number 1, and he was quick, and again in exactly the same spot. Off comes the left hand off the bar and takes one of those rip-offs off and takes it down. And 2 very fast machines. It's Ian Locker the second of them, and it's Hutchinson the first. And again Ian Locker round that outside and doesn't lose any time at all on the more conventional line of Ian Hutchinson, tight to the inside. Down the centre of the road, just gets it anchored up in time, but runs a bit wide as number 5 Keith Amor on that Corliss Jackson Racing BMW. So he might have lost a bit of time there, but certainly off the ones gone through for, it's Hutchinson from Keith Amor. But those later numbers is number 6 Cameron Donald here now at Ramsey Hairpin in the brilliant sunshine of Ramsey Hairpin as this race unfolds. There appears to be a bit of time getting there as Michael Rutter is with us now on the HM plant machinery. and Ian Hutchinson still leads, but at those later numbers, 12, 14 and 10 we're looking for. There's number 8, Guy Martin, sounded as though it was missing a bit at Glen Helen, but he has a quick look over his left shoulder, and it's certainly not missing as it goes away here from Ramsey Hairpin. So it's Ian Hutchinson who leads from Connor Cummins, but Connor Cummins is here now, and he tips it in, and number 9 is right behind him there, Adrian Archibald. So Connor has got past him on the road, but we've just got to wait for that other number to come in. We can tell you number 12, Ryan Farquhar, shaking the back end there, just like Martin Finnegan, is leading at Ramsey Hairpin by 0.598 of a second. Oh, give us gear there for the latter one there to go through. A real misgear, that would cost him a bit of time. So let's go to the leaderboard. It's leading number 12, Ryan Farquhar, from number 14, Michael Dunlop, who just lost a bit of time there. This is Michael Dunlop here now, though. Just drops it into, and he's going quick, and he was hard on the brakes coming in, as number 13 is with us here now. 13 belonging to the riding number of Dan Stewart. So that will give us a chance to say that Ryan Farquhar, number 12, leads by 4.2 seconds now from 14, Michael Dunlop, who in turn is just 1.78 seconds ahead of Ian Hutchinson. Connor Cummins down to 4th place, 1.06 only behind Ian Hutchinson though. In 5th it is number 5, Keith Amor, 1.27 seconds behind Connor Cummins. And then 6th place, John McGuinness, 2.35 seconds only down on Keith Amor. 7th, number 6, Cameron Donald, 2.23 seconds down on McGuinness. It's then 8th, number 8, Guy Martin, 0.46 only between him and Cameron Donald. In 9th place, Michael Rutter. 10th, Gary Johnson. 11th, Ian Locker, that's number 3, Ian Locker. 12th, number 9, Adrian Archibald. And 13th, number 13, Dan Stewart. And they're only covered by 4 seconds, would you believe, as Dan Neen comes into Ramsey Hairpin. Yes, can we get him up on the leaderboard anywhere? No, he's not in the top 13 at Ramsey. Number 19, a very vicious approach there. He had to get that anchored up, and 17 behind him. 19 being that of James Hillier, and number 17, Mark Miller. He had to get it really on the brakes to get it through, but it's Ryan Farquhar who leads. He's pulled out 3 seconds from Ballaft Bridge to here, Ramsey Hairpin over Michael Dunlop. And it's now a lead of 4 seconds. 4.20 seconds is the lead. No more change. We now do have Dan Neen into 16th place, James Hillier 15th place. So no change on those announced before. 2 more machines go through as well. They don't make any input into the leaderboard. The race being led by Ryan Farquhar. We can tell you that was John Burrows and William Dunlop who have just gone through, and certainly they slot into 17th and 18th position with some of the biggest margins there. 11 seconds the difference between them two at 17th and 18th place. But up at the top, there's Mr. Brian, 23 and 24. They're through with us now too. So 24, Ian Mackman. We slot him into 18th, but it is Ryan Farquhar by 14 seconds. 2nd, Michael Dunlop. 3rd, Ian Hutchinson. 4th, Connor Cummins. 5th, Keith Amor. 6th, John McGuinness. 7th, Cameron Donald. 8th, Guy Martin. 9th, Michael Rutter. 10th, Gary Johnson. 11th, Ian Locker. 12th, Adrian Archibald. 13th, Daniel Stewart. 14th, Bruce Anstey. 15th, James Hillier. 16th, Dan Neen. 17th, William Dunlop. And 18th, Ian Mackman. Back to the grandstand.
TT is here, and naturally you may want to take in the unique atmosphere by hitting the bars and pubs. But if you drink, make sure you leave your bike or car where you're staying. An accident can impact on so many lives, and an Isle of Man driving ban applies in the UK too. It's just not worth the risk. Don't drink and drive, and stay alert, stay alive. Brought to you by the Department of Infrastructure's Road Safety Unit.
Would owners of domestic animals and livestock are joining the TT course, please ensure that they are secure during practice and race periods.
TT Race Timing brought to you by Graham London, the official TT timing partner.
Manx Radio TT.
Terrific day, terrific race, terrific racing as well. At the bungalow, Ryan Farquhar from Northern Ireland continues to lead on his own racing team's KMR Kawasaki. He's got a 5-second lead over Michael Dunlop, so that's gone up a little bit since they passed Roy. Meanwhile, top man on the road is now John McGuinness. John McGuinness leads on the road, and he is at Crockney-Mona, so also is Bruce Anstey. News of some other non-starters for you, just confirming non-starter 61 Carsten Schmidt, also 62 Daniel Hegarty, 69 James Shipley, 70 Mark Granier and 73 Roger Wibberley. I'm also being told that the lights are not working across the road, so if you expect your rider to come through and you're looking at the lights above pit lane on the far side, they've not been working, but they are coming on now. So somebody's fitted a new battery somewhere, thank goodness for that. So the lights are coming on all of a sudden, all at once. It's like Blackpool over there. Incidentally, the lights used to be green over there, which were very hard to spot on a sunny day when the sun was shining right into them. But they've now been replaced, and they're just the clear sort of yellowy orange kind of light, which is much easier to pick up. So that is definitely a step in the right direction. It's all quiet right now on Glen Crutchley Road. That's not going to last much longer. Here comes the top rider on the road. It's John McGuinness. And McGuinness Road goes through to complete that first lap. We'll give you the details of his time and his speed in just a moment. 1:27.709. There's Bruce going through. And there is Hutchie. Hutchie goes through. There's Ian Locker, number 3. Of course, we're going to have to wait some time for the leaders really to shuffle into place, with Ryan going at 12 and Michael Dunlop going at 14. So Hutchie the quickest so far, 128.759. There goes Amor. And he's through, looking very determined indeed. And let me see, what's he doing? Second quickest, 128.179 by Keith Amor on the BMW. Up Glen Crutchley Road we look again. Who will be the next rider to come into view? It should be, and it is, Cameron Donald. So through goes Cameron at 175.2 miles an hour with a couple of backfires as he passes away. And there is the next rider coming through, and that was Michael Rutter. Michael at 127.269 for the lap, 165.7 as he passes us. There's Guy Martin, number 8, and Guy, who's making inroads. Something must have gone wrong at the start for Guy. He was well outside the top 10 in the early stages of the race, but clawing his way back into it. Connor goes through now. Connor Cummins passing very close to pit lane, and Connor at the moment in second place on corrected time. So that means he's got past Hutchie, but we're still waiting for Michael Dunlop to come through, number 14. And there is Ryan Farquhar, our race leader. And Ryan goes through at 129.648, so it's just a tenth of a second. It's just outside the lap record, not a tenth of a second, but just outside the lap record by Ryan. And that is, was that Michael coming through? I mean, no, it's Gary Johnson. It's Gary Johnson coming through. I'm getting a little bit too jumpy here, but here is the number 14 machine of Michael Dunlop. So what does that say in terms of the leadership at the top? It says that Ryan still leads, and he's increased his lead as well. It's 6.7 seconds now. So Ryan Farquhar leading by 6.7 seconds from number 14, Michael Dunlop, with Ian Hutchinson in third place, Connor Cummins in fourth. So we can just correct that. Connor is still behind Hutchie. He's not got past him. He's still in fourth place. In fifth place it's Keith Amor, sixth it's John McGuinness, in seventh place it is Ian Locker, and Guy Martin was up to seventh at Cronknymona, but he's dropped down to ninth, just between there and here. So that's quite surprising, with Locker seventh, Michael Rutter eighth, Guy Martin 9, and in 10th place it's Cameron Donald. So let's look at those stats with the road quiet at the moment. Ryan Farquhar's opening lap, a really blistering lap by Ryan, 17 minutes, 27.67 seconds, 129.64 miles an hour. Second place, number 14, Michael Dunlop, 17 minutes, 34.45 seconds, 128.81 miles an hour. And in third place, number 4, Ian Hutchinson, 17 minutes, 34.90, 128.75 miles an hour. And in fourth on the Kawasaki, number 10, Connor Cummins, as Dan Neen goes through. And two more riders pass just down below me here. That's James Hillier going through as well. We have in 10th place Connor Cummins, just trying to give you his details, 17 minutes 37.33 seconds, 128.46 miles per hour. Number 13 Dan Stewart is very sadly a retirement again early in the race. There's his bike being wheeled away, and I can see that Dan is actually limping rather badly, and he's being helped by two members of the crew just limping across pit lane, so clearly some sort of medical attention is going to be required there. One of the PRF bikes is in there as well, and that's Carl Rennie. He's looking around, and there's nobody attending to him, so I guess that means that that's another retirement for Carl, so that is disappointing news. Okay, let's take it back to the leaderboard now and just confirm where we are. And we also need to check the riders coming through here at the grandstand. We've seen, is that John Burrows going through at the grandstand? Yes, it is. It is John Burrows. And over to Glen Helen.
Yes, I can hear the thump of the helicopter overhead, and here's the first bike on the road. It's John McGuinness. Neat as you like, round the left-hander and away off up the hill. Here's the second, it's Hutchie. We've got that Paget's Honda formation riding. Hutchie safely through as a distinctive green Kawasaki of Ian Locker. Closely followed by the number 6 Relentless Suzuki, number 1, sorry, of Bruce Anstey. Keith Moore safely through here as well, and the leaderboard shaping up, but remember we still need to wait for those higher numbers, 10, 12 and 14, but at the moment it's Hutchinson 5 seconds clear of Moore. Moore is then 6.2 seconds clear of John McGuinness, who in turn has 3.6 seconds on Ian Locker, and Bruce Anstey making up the first 5 through. Here's Cameron Donald now, closely followed by Michael Rutter. Both safely through Glen Helen, and that should be an interesting scrap once they get running together. Here's Guy Martin, super fast approach. He's round the left-hander, opens up the power, and away she goes, and Connor's right behind him. Connor safely through Glen Helen as well, and he will slot onto the leaderboard when the computer catches up with him in second place. There's 12, there's Ryan Farquhar through, closely followed by Adrian Archibald. Farquhar slots in at the top of the leaderboard, so at the moment we're just waiting for Michael Dunlop to come through to make up that top 3, and the road goes quiet here for a moment or two. At the moment though, Ryan Farquhar tops the leaderboard. He's 8.4 seconds clear of second place Hutchie, but here's a bike approaching fast. That's Gary Johnson, closely followed by 14 Michael Dunlop, and Dunlop slots into second, so it's Farquhar 7 seconds clear of number 14 Michael Dunlop. In third place it's number 4 Ian Hutchinson, who's 1.3 seconds back on Dunlop. Fourth place, local man number 10 Connor Cummins, he's 2 seconds back on Hutchie. In fifth it's number 5 Keith Amor, who's 3 seconds back on Cummins. Sixth place number 2 John McGuinness, 6.2 seconds down on Amor. In seventh it's number 3 Ian Locker, 3.6 seconds down on McGuinness. In eighth place it's number 7 Michael Rutter, who is 1/100th of a second down on Ian Locker. In ninth place it's number 8 Guy Martin, who is 0.8 second down on Rutter. In 10th Cameron Donald, who is 7 seconds down on Guy Martin. 11th number 9 Adrian Archibald, who is 1.5 seconds down on Cameron Donald. In the 12th place it's number 11 Gary Johnson, 1.6 seconds down on Archibald. And 13th number 1 Bruce Anstey, 14.6 seconds down on Gary Johnson. We got a Glen Helen to Glen Helen time for Michael Dunlop, 17 minutes 24 seconds. That looks to be a 130 miles an hour. That is, of course, unofficial timing, but Glen Helen to Glen Helen, Michael Dunlop, 17 minutes 24 seconds. That is the 130 mile an hour lap. Obviously, the pit stop at the end of this lap is going to make life difficult for that lap time, but there's 18 and 19 through. That's Dan Neen and James Hillier both together on the road. Neen slots into 15th place, Hillier into 13th. As another machine approaches. That's 17, Mark Miller, safely through Glen Helen into 16th place. He's 25 seconds back on 15th place, Dan Neen. But my, it is close at the top there. Ryan Farquhar leading. He's got 7 seconds here at Glen Helen. He's extended that by about half a second from the grandstand. 7 seconds back on leader Ryan Farquhar. 22 comes through. That's William Dunlop. He's safely through and climbing off way up the hill. He slots into 15th place on the leaderboard, 3.5 seconds back on Bruce Anstey. But Farquhar leads at Glen Helen, 7.1 seconds clear of Michael Dunlop. In third place, it's Ian Hutchinson, 1.3 seconds back on Dunlop. Fourth is number 10, Connor Cummins, 2 seconds back on Hutchinson. Fifth, number 5, Keith Moore, 3 seconds back on Connor Cummins. Sixth place, number 2, John McGuinness, 6 seconds back on Moore. Seventh, Ian Locker, he's 3 seconds back on McGuinness. As 24 goes through, that's Ian Mackman, and it's time for me to go back to the grandstand.
TT is here, and once again the roads are busy with extra bikes and cars visiting the island. Make sure you allow extra time for every trip. Try to avoid busy times of day and listen out for warnings and temporary speed limits around the island. Leave safe gaps when riding in groups, take extra care on our busy roads, and stay alert, stay alive. Brought to you by the Department of Infrastructure's Road Safety Unit.
Would owners of domestic animals and livestock adjoining the TT course please ensure that they are secure during practice and race periods?
TT Race Timing brought to you by Graham London, the official TT timing partner.
Manx Radio TT.
Au deuxième tour, selon les chronos à Glen Helen, c'est le numéro 12 en tête, Ryan Farquhar, 7 secondes d'avance sur le numéro 14, Michael Dunlop. Lui, 1,3 Sekunden d'avance sur le Numero 4, Ian Hutchinson. Heike.
Ja, vielen Dank. Und hier im Royal London 360 Grad Superstock Rennen liegt nach der ersten Runde in Glen Helen eine Überraschungenführung, die Startnummer 12, Ryan Farquhar, mit einem Vorsprung von 7,1 Sekunden auf die Startnummer 14, Michael Dunlop, der sich ja hier einiges erhoffen hat. Und in der dritten Position liegt die Startnummer 4, Ian Hutchinson. Wird er möglicherweise einen dritten Sieg erringen können mit einem Rückstand von 1,3 Sekunden? Wir müssen abwarten. Charlie.
Had the text in, don't know who it's from, just says good luck to Connor in this next one, show him how it's done. And another one saying, can you please say a big good luck to Big Cam. That's from Little Cam Halls and Kurt Michael, watching and cheering you on as always. Sadly, the KTM of James Edmeade is a retirement at Selby Crossroads. Daniel Stewart and Carl Rennie confirmed as retirements at the pits. Fabrice Miguet is a retirement at Union Mills. But what about Ryan Farquhar? What a start to the race. Over to Ramsey and Roy.
Yes, well, there's an article in one of the magazines which says of Ryan Farquhar, I get an even bigger buzz from turning up and kicking the butts of all the teams with big budgets. Well, one team with a big budget is Honda, and there's John McGuinness, number 2, and Ian Hutchinson. Well, I think there was a role reversal before there. I think it was that Hutchie had got past him. I might be wrong on that particular one, but certainly Ian Locker, number 3, is here with us now at Ramsey Hairpin. And again, just watch it out round the outside. But he has a quick look down. Something went amiss on that. Missed gear possibly. He took his hand off the left bar and just put down to Luke. And there's number 5, Keith Amor. So he's through, and the BMW sounding well as it accelerates away through. And it's Ian Hutchins from Keith Amor of the ones that have gone through so far. But 12, 14 and 10 are the ones that we are looking out for to get a proper leaderboard position here as they head towards their fuel stop on lap number 2 of this London 360. Excellent, fantastic racing that we've had this week. Fractions of second covering, and Fat O'Hanlon reckons he's never seen it anything like that as number 7 Michael Rutter comes in, and there'll be a little bar in Australia that'll be cheering that. But there's 1, 2, 3 together, and it's Bruce Danstey, Connor Cummins and Guy Martin as quickly as that. So Connor has got past Guy, and he shortly will. But there's the man of the moment, Ryan Farquhar, increasing his lead, I can tell you, at Ramsey Hairpin. It's now up to 9 seconds over Ian Hutchinson, but certainly that will make a difference. We're looking for number 14, Michael Dunlop. We always keep a close eye on for him here at Ramsey Hairpin after Saturday. Number 9 is there through. Number 9 going through, that of Adrian Archibald. So all eyes now on Michael Dunlop, and I can tell you the lead is still there because Michael Dunlop is now here with us at Ramsey. Down through the box, back end shakes a little bit, but much neater and determined looking there. Has a quick look back over his left shoulder to see is there anybody else about, and I can tell you it's number 11 that he will see. That's off Gary Johnson, but it's Ryan Farquhar, number 12, who leads Michael Dunlop, number 14, by 9.64 seconds here at Ramsey. In third place, number 4, Ian Hutchinson, just 0.32 of a second down on Michael Dunlop. That's going to be a big battle there. In fourth place, number 10, Connor Cummins, 1.89 down on Hutchinson. In fifth place, number 5, Keith Amor, just 9.13 seconds down on Connor Cummins. It's then in sixth, number 2, John McGuinness, 4.09 seconds down on Keith Amor. In seventh, number 3, Ian Locker, 5.89 seconds down on McGuinness. With an eighth, number 8, Guy Martin, 1.44 seconds only, though, down on Ian Locker. Up to ninth, Michael Rutter, number 7, 1.45 seconds down on Guy Martin. We then have in 10th, number 9, Adrian Archibald, 9.74 seconds down on Rutter. With 11th, number 6, Cameron Donald, 3.10 seconds only down, though, on Adrian Archibald. 12th place for number 11, Gary Johnson. There's only 1 second in that between him and Cameron Donald as well. And the top 13 here through Ramsey at the moment, completed by number 1, Bruce Anstey, on the relentless Suzuki there. Bruce Anstey, but 51 seconds down on Gary Johnson. Notice going very well again was number 37, Luis Carrera, on that first lap. And Hudson Kenyuk through, the newcomer, along with David Johnson. Very neat indeed. Number 14 and number 19 are here with us now. James Hillier, number 14 there, doesn't come up to show on the board, but certainly Dan Neen should be the next rider through with us now. But James Hillier going well as well, and they relegate Bruce Anstey down now to 15th place, because in 13th place it is number 19 James Hillier, 12 seconds down on Gary Johnson, with 14th Dan Neen, 9 seconds down on Hillier, with Bruce Anstey number 1, 29 seconds down on Dan Neen. That was 17, or this is 17, taking it tight to the inside, the fastest American round the TT course, number 17, Mark Miller, and appropriately enough in 17th place. But 22 should move up there, William Dunlop. So he getting bedded down as well, 15th place for William Dunlop. But with the news from Ramsey, it's number 12, Ryan Farquhar, who has a 9-second advantage over Michael Dunlop, with Ian Hutchinson third, but only 0.32 of a second down on Dunlop. Back to the grandstand.
TT is here, and our roads are extra busy with visiting bikes and cars. Keep a close eye on your children, especially when there are bikes around. Make sure that all pets and livestock are safely secured, especially during busy times. When you're driving, be aware of children and animals. Expect the unexpected. Watch out for extra dangers on the road, and stay alert, stay alive. Brought to you by the Department of Infrastructure's Road Safety Unit.
Would owners of domestic animals and livestock are joining the TT course, please ensure that they are secure during practice and race periods.
TT Race Timing brought to you by Graham London, the official TT timing partner.
Manx Radio TT.
We've just seen Maria Costello come into the pits off the bike, and she unfortunately is a retirement. Clinton Pienaar is in as well, just having attention. We saw another newcomer, James Hurrell, come in, but he was able to continue. But it's really exciting and very, very close indeed in the battle for second, third and fourth places, with Ryan Farquhar leading the way. And in fact, I said the battle was close for second place because Hutchie up on the bungalow has got into second place ahead of Michael Dunlop. So it's Hutchie, Michael and Connor are really scrapping it out for that second, third and fourth spots, with Hutchie just making his move. And we saw how strong he was this morning in that section of the course, coming back over the mountain, Ian Hutchinson. So Ryan Farquhar leading by 9 seconds at the bungalow. 3 riders are already at Crockney-Mona. They are John McGuinness, Ian Hutchinson and Ian Locker, with Hutchie just marginally ahead of John McGuinness now on the road. Keith Amor is through Crockney-Mona as well. So it's a desperately close race with something happening every which way we look. We have some more retirements for you. Number 60, Alan Connor, is a retirement at Guthrie's, and 21, John Burrows, a retirement at Ballick Bridge. So quite a number of retirements already in the race. Now don't forget, this time it is pit stop time, and we hear a klaxon sounding, so that should denote the arrival of one of the machines coming along Glen Crutchley Road. It should be Hutchie with John McGuinness behind him. That is the order. Hutchie now through what used to be the stop box. There's McGuinness as well. We'll give you all the corrected times, but down to Chris Kinley.
Interesting to see what sort of lap Hutchie's done there, because he's been putting the pressure on Charlie, won't it?
Yeah, it's 129.622, so again, just outside the lap record, but not too shabby.
Yeah, not too shabby at all. He's chasing the third win of the week, and John McGuinness before the race quietly confident, but back around 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th position for John there now as we get another rider into their respective pits, and that is Ian Locker, and Keith Moore's also in as well. His very friend Johnny Ray's helping him on the pit stop there as Hutchinson is in, throws the water away, just has a little look round at the rear tyre, and the Dunlop tyre looks pretty good, and he'll be ready to go any second now. Still in there now. Keith's going to have a change of lid halfway up the pit there as well. And that's a little bit of time, I think, lost for Hutchie there now. His bike took a little while to fire up. John's went straight away, and you hear them hitting that limiter there, and this could be, just having a little look up the road to see who this is behind the Task Boys, and it is going to be Michael Rutter. Is it next to come in? I think it is. And Ian Locke is still in his pit now. Norman on the front of the screen working hard. Mr. Bus hard as usual. And there we are, Michael Rutter in as well. Lenny second, and here's Connor. Connor's in as well. Connor down in fourth at the moment, but only 11 11, 10, 12, 13 seconds, and we believe that Bruce Anstey has retired at the Craigna Bar. Bruce Anstey out at the Craigna Bar.
A lap record, Chris, by Ryan Farquhar on lap 2, 129.816, 129.816 for Ryan. Back to you.
Yeah, I'm sure he's going to be very, very disappointed in the task camp as we get down to the front here now, and it's Ryan and Guy Martin just about to leave as well. Connors has had a new visor put on, but they're giving all the information to Ryan now with that new lap record as well. He'd be mega, mega pleased with that. And who's that just coming at the top? Can't actually see just up the top there now, so right down the far end now. Tim O'Hanlon is working hard on those times. We'll get those in a second. When he's ready, he'll give us a little bit of a shout and we'll get ready to go. As we have number 14, Michael Dunlop. My word, that was a bit close. Michael is in. Michael's dropped down to that third position, but that could have changed after the pit stop. Guy Martin, you heard Guy's rev limiter kicking in there as well, the speed limiter. And Ryan Farquhar's away now. So Tim O'Hanlon will be working on that, and everybody in nice and steady, but that was close between Connor and Michael Dunlop, and it's Adrian Archibald that's in. Tim, are you ready for us yet over there? Not yet, a big shake of the head.
Let me just tell you, Chris, just while we're waiting for that the order when they came in was Farquhar 1, Hutchie 2, Connor 3, and Michael Dunlop in 4th place. We said it was tight, it most certainly is.
Absolutely, yeah, so Tim is scribbling hard as Adrian Archibald is in at the top there. There's one more bike in behind him as well. Can't actually see who that is from there. It's number 11, it's Gary Johnson as Adrian gets away, and you can just pick up the effects of that Suzuki just just popping away. And let's cross, and maybe Tim could be ready now. And problems, is it, Tim? Michael Dunlop, I think, has got big problems. Should we chance that, I think. Tim, are you ready with those times there yet? Yes, he is ready. Tim?
Right, well, after the pit stops, we have a new leader. Ian Hutchinson has got a 2-second lead over number 12, Ryan Farquhar. In 3rd place, number 10, Connor Cummings, 10 seconds behind Farquhar. In 4th place, McGuinness, 10 seconds behind Connor. And in 5th place, Keith Moore, 10 seconds behind McGuinness. Over to you, Chris.
I think it's a change of wheel here for Michael. That's what the time's going to be. Davey and the guys just to pull it back a little bit. Gary Ryan telling them just to hang on there a minute. The rear spindle is in, so a lot of time lost here for Michael. And they've just been told to be in check the brake now. So just put just got to build up the pressure in that back brake there now. So there's new try going on. They're just building up the pressure in that brake now. And he's been told to go away now. So a lot of time lost there for Michael Dunlop as number 18, Dan Neen, comes in, or just about to leave. Does Dan now right at the end pit there? Dan Nees is. What does that do to the leaderboard, Tim? Have you changed that at all? Yes?
Top 6 now, Michael, unfortunately.
Okay, he's lost a lot of time there. Charlie, back to you.
Yeah, we'll see how that shakes down when they get round to Glen Helen, but clearly that's a devastating blow for young Michael, and one can only imagine what's going through his head right now, but he has to keep that head clear and concentrate on the job in hand. Let me give you the details of lap 2 in the Superstock race then. Race leader, as they came in at the end of the lap, Ryan Farquhar, with a lap time on lap 2 of 17 minutes, 26.31 seconds, 129.81 miles an hour, a new lap record. Second place was number 4, Ian Hutchinson, 17 minutes, 27.88, 129.62. Third, number 10, Connor Cummings, 17 minutes, 30.42 seconds, 129.30, and in 4th was number 14, Michael Dunlop, 17 minutes, 34.27, 128.836. But as Tim was saying, all that's changed with Ian Hutchinson going to the top of the leaderboard, Farquhar 2nd, Connor 3rd, McGuinness 4th, and over to Dave Christian.
Yes, thanks, Charlie. Sunlight again bright down through the trees here at Glen Helen, but the road's quiet just yet as we all wait for the first machine to come into view. The spectators ripple along the hedge, and here we have a Paget's Honda. That's Hutchie, steady as you like, round the left-hander up the hill. Here's John McGuinness, and he's safely through as well. So the two Paget's Honda in line astern as they climb up on towards Cronkovody, and we just wait the arrival of the other machines now to make up that leaderboard. But fantastic race in there on the opening 2 laps of this Royal London 360 Superstock, and it is incredibly close. I go with Pat O'Hanlon when he said that. Tim O'Hanlon when he said this is the closest he's ever seen it. This is fantastic racing here today, and here's 2 machines together. That's Keith Moore and Ian Locker together on the road. and a fantastic spectacle that's going to be as they hit those sweeping bends at the end of Cronkavody. Hutchie at the top of the leaderboard just as we speak, but it is only very provisional because we need to see 10, 12 and 14 just to see how it's shaken down after the pit stops at the end of that second lap. But here we go, machine coming into view. It's Connor. He sweeps around that left-hander and he slots in 7 seconds down on Hutchie. Here's Guy Martin, followed by Michael Rutter, and I think that was Ryan Farquhar as well. There's Cameron Donald safely through. It's shaping up at the minute in the lead. Number 12, Ryan Farquhar. He is ahead of second place at number 4, Ian Hutchinson, by 1.4 seconds. In third place, number 10, Connor Cummins, 7.9 seconds back on Hutchinson. And at the moment, in fourth place, number 2, John McGuinness, 18 seconds back on Connor. But we're awaiting the arrival of number 14, Michael Dunlop, just to see how those pit stops have affected it. That's Adrian Archibald safely through Glen Helen. He slots into 10th place on our leaderboard so far, but still waiting the arrival of number 14, and the road's gone quiet for a moment here. Nothing approaching, but very dramatic changes there in that pit lane with Michael Dunlop. It appeared that he was leaking time as we watched the times come in over that mountain section, and he was dropping time steadily really from Ballaugh Bridge round. Here's a machine now. He sweeps into the left-hander. That's Gary Johnson, nice and steady through Glen Helen. But still no sign of the bike we're waiting for, 14, Michael Dunlop. As the leader stands then, it is Ryan Farquhar at the top of the leaderboard. He's regained that lead from Hutchinson, who is 1.4 seconds back. In third place, number 10, Connor Cummins, 7.9 seconds down on Hutchinson. And here's a bike coming into view. It is Michael Dunlop. He's trying hard. He's round the corner, away off up the hill, and he slots into 11th place on the leaderboard. 11th place on the leaderboard. He is just half a second back on 10th place Adrian Archibald, so he has lost a huge amount of time in that pit stop. Leaderboard then, it is Farquhar top in the pile, number 12. He's 1.5 seconds just ahead of Ian Hutchinson. Third place, Connor, 7.9 seconds back on Hutchie. In fourth place, it's number 2, John McGuinness, 18 seconds back on Connor. Fifth place, number 5, Keith Amore, 4.7 seconds back on McGuinness. In sixth place, it's number 8, Guy Martin, 4.5 seconds back on Amore. In seventh, number 7, Michael Rutter, 11.8 seconds down on Guy Martin. In eighth place, number 3, Ian Locker, 3.9 seconds back on Rutter. 19 goes through, that's James Hillier. He slots into 12th place, just 1.3 seconds behind 11th place Dunlop. 18 goes through. That's Dan Neen, the local lad who went so well this morning, and Dan slots into 14th place. So at Glen Helen, lap 3, the running order is first, Farquhar. Second, 1.4 seconds back, Hutchinson. Third, number 10, Connor Cummins, 7 back on Hutchinson. Fourth, number 2, John McGuinness, 18 seconds back on Connor. And fifth, Keith Amore, 4.7 seconds back on McGuinness. Back to the grandstand.
TT is here. But before you're tempted to hit the throttle, remember the TT course is made up of public roads with people going about their everyday lives. Make sure you know your limits and ride within them. Obey the speed limits and be aware of other road users. Also ensure you only pull in and stop where it's safe to do so. Watch your speed and remember, if you're riding in a group, please leave safe gaps. Stay alert. Stay alive. Brought to you by the Department of Infrastructure's Road Safety Unit.
Would owners of domestic animals and livestock are joining the TT course, please ensure that they are secure during practice and race periods.
TT Race Timing brought to you by Graham London, the official TT timing partner.
Manx Radio TT.
Nouveau record pour un tour dans la Superstock par Ryan Farquhar avec une vitesse moyenne de 209 km par heure. Au troisième tour, à la sortie de Glen Helen, en tête le numéro 12, Ryan Farquhar, 1,4 secondes d'avance sur le numéro 4, Ian Hutchinson. Lui, 7,9 secondes d'avance sur le numéro 10, Connor Cummins. Heike.
Ja, vielen Dank. Was diese Boxenstopps doch für höllische Unterschiede ausmachen können, und zwar für die Startnummer 14, Michael Dunlop. Michael Dunlop ist auf Rang 11 abgerutscht und nunmehr in dieser dritten Runde liegt in Führung die Startnummer 12 Ryan Farquhar und nicht nur in Führung, sondern mit einem Rundenrekord, einem neuen Rundenrekord von 129,816 Meilen pro Stunde. Das sind 209,003 km/h und einer Zeit von 17 Minuten 26,31 Sekunden. Auf zweiter Position nach wie vor die Nummer 4 Ian Hutchinson mit einem Rückstand auf Ryan Farquhar von 1,41 Sekunden und nunmehr in dritter Position die Startnummer 10, der Ramsey-Mann Connor Cummins mit einem weiteren Rückstand von 7,92 Sekunden. Und unser Toni Rechberger liegt noch in seiner zweiten Runde zurück an Charlie.
Just seen Stephen Thompson on the Suzuki People's bike just overshoot his pit, and he's had to be pushed back in there pretty quickish. Isle of Man TT, fueled by Monster Energy. And if you're listening to us online at iomtt.com, don't forget you can pick up the dashboard for live timings. Now to Roy.
Yeah, Ian Hutchinson really got a shake in its head coming into Ramsey that time. He's ahead of John McGuinness on the road this lap through here, this third lap through Ramsey hairpin. John again just lifts up the left hand, exactly the same place. Bit of a loose problem there for the next rider through, and that's the chap who stopped with us the other night. That's Mr. Pinar, I think. Yes, it was. But something flapping on the right-hand side of that machine, just on the fairing. I think it was just a piece of the fairing coming loose. But certainly they'll be indicating, or the way things will work out, it'll be all done. But Ian Hutchinson and John McGuinness through. Keith Amor should be the next that we see. And with Ian Locker right behind him. Ian Locker going down the right as he always does. Keith Amor on the inside on that Corliss Jackson machinery. And a lovely wheelie there from Ian Locker as he accelerates away, because he could get it pointed straighter and quicker coming out of the corner. But we're all looking for those later numbers now for 12 Ryan Farquhar to see what this lead will be. It was 2 seconds only at Balaf Bridge as Connor Cummins comes into view now. Connor is here at Ramsey. Down, tips it round in, exactly the same line all the time, but there's Ryan Farquhar, so 10 to 12, that's the difference there, and behind them is number 8, Guy Martin, so it doesn't look as though it's going to be his victory today. So let's have a look at the board now and see. It's Ryan Farquhar from number 4, Ian Hutchinson by 4.3 seconds as Michael Rutter goes through. We then have in third place Connor Cummins, 9 seconds down on Ian Hutchinson. In fourth, it's now number 2, John McGuinness on the move, 19 seconds though behind Connor. There's Cameron Donald gone through, so he'll slot into a lower leaderboard position, I would think. It's then in fifth place, number 5, Keith Amor, 5 seconds down on John McGuinness, with sixth, number 8, Guy Martin. Pulling through, he's only 3 seconds down on Keith Amor. We then have in seventh, number 3, Ian Locker. Good ride from Ian Locker there. 16 seconds though down on Guy Martin as Adrian Archibald is into Ramsey hairpin and through. Number 8 in 8th place, number 7, Michael Rutter, just 4 seconds down on Ian Locker. Within 9th place, number 9, Adrian Archibald, 16 seconds down on Michael Rutter. And completing our top 10 of the riders through so far, it's number 6, Cameron Donald, 6 seconds down on Adrian Archibald. But Ryan Farquhar increased a further 2 seconds lead over Ian Hutchinson from Balaf. The run from Balaf here to Ramsey. The lead now 4.03 seconds to be absolutely precise, with Connor Cummins a further 9.79 seconds back in third place. That should be number 11, Gary Johnston. And it certainly is, and appropriately enough, number 11 goes into 11th place. Gary Johnson, 11 seconds, 11.65 to be precise, down on Cameron Donald. Another fast approach, and this is Michael Dunlop. It certainly is, just shakes it coming in. I think that was something to do, an indicator with the way things are with stock machinery. That would have been a major decision there to make a wheel change, but something must have been wrong with it, and certainly to get all that done in that short time there, the boys deserve a round of applause down at the pits. And we've got Michael Dunlop now into 11th place after that stop, but he's only 0.14 down on Cameron Donald. And completing the top 12 now, moving down a place, is number 11 into 12th place, Gary Johnston, 11 seconds down on Michael Dunlop. But the battle at the front there as they cast Ramsey hairpin on this, the third lap. tremendous. The way things are working out, I've never seen as close racing as this, and I think it's better, really, to be fair, over 4 laps. I don't know whether that the general opinion will be shared by that, but certainly over 4-lap races you seem to get some very, very close racing indeed, and none more so today than Ryan Farquhar, 4 seconds ahead, 4.03 ahead of Ian Hutchinson, who's going for the double in the day. Another fast machine approaches, that of number 19. 19, that's James Hillier, so up into the top 13 for him. And there's 18, that's Dan Neen. So Dan Neen is safely through Ramsey Hairpin at the moment. Dan Neen holding on to 14, 16 seconds down on James Hillier. And they are chasing Gary Johnson. James Hillier just 5 seconds down on Gary Johnson, but with the news from Ramsey, it's Ryan Farquhar who's further increased his lead to now 4 seconds over Ian Hutchinson, with Connor Cummins third. From Ramsey, back to the grandstand.
TT is here, and naturally you may want to take in the unique atmosphere by hitting the bars and pubs. But if you drink, make sure you leave your bike or car where you're staying. An accident can impact on so many lives, and an Isle of Man driving ban applies in the UK too. It's just not worth the risk. Don't drink and drive, and stay alert, stay alive. Brought to you by the Department of Infrastructure's Road Safety Unit.
Would owners of domestic animals and livestock are joining the TT course, please ensure that they are secure during practice and race periods.
TT Race Timing brought to you by Graham London, the official TT timing partner.
Manx Radio TT.
Just seen Mark Herbertson had to apply the brakes pretty quickly there, with James Hurrell pulling out in front of him as they came in for their pit stops. But this time round they're going to be flying right the way through and off for the final time. Ian Hutchinson, the second man on corrected time, is the race leader on the road. He is through Crockney-Mona. Also, so too is John McGuinness. Let me give you some stats from the Sulby Speed Trap. The fastest through there this afternoon has been the BMW of Keith Amor at 189 miles an hour, then Ryan Farquhar's Kawasaki at 183.9, then at 182.9 the Kawasaki of Connor Cummins and the Honda of Michael Dunlop, and then the Suzuki of the Portuguese rider Luis Carrera, next fastest at 182.4. The fastest of the pit stops recorded by Norman Quayle up here was Hutchie's at 48.810 seconds. So the Paget's team certainly doing the business there. Some more retirements. Michael Russell retired at Kirkmichael Village, and David Paradis a retirement at Governor's Bridge. There is Ian Hutchinson, and Hutchie blasts through and immediately passes from our field division so quickly under the footbridge and away between the trees. Off to the top of Bray Hill he goes, and now John McGuinness comes through. Lap times will of course incorporate the pit stops on this one, so no great dramas. Hutchie 18 minutes 19.63 seconds, 123.522 miles per hour. But that pit stop for Michael Dunlop, so costly for whatever reason, has knocked him back, I reckon, something like 1 minute 15, 1 minute 20 behind the race leader, and I don't think even Michael can make that one up. Sad to say, he's going to have to conserve his energies and go again, but he will have further chances of course later on in the week. So Hutchie and McGuinness are the two who are through so far, and we will have to wait some time of course for our race leader to come through, Ryan Farquhar. But Farquhar just dipped off the top of the leaderboard as a result of the pit stops as Keith Amor goes through. Ian Locker's gone through as well, so those are the first 4 on the road past us here at the grandstand. 161 miles an hour they passed us here. That was the digital readout just above the Stanley Woods clock opposite the main stand. Here comes Connor now. Connor Cummins is through, and there is the race leader Ryan Farquhar, and Farquhar is really looking dialed in. Absolutely superb concentration and great speed as he passed in front of us here. So Farquhar is still in the lead, and he's increased the lead as well over Ian Hutchinson to 5.54 seconds. 5.54 seconds, that is the lead between Farquhar and Hutchie. In third place it's Connor Cummins, who has caught up a little bit on Hutchie. 12.78 seconds now is the gap. So Farquhar from Hutchinson, from Connor Cummins. So it's Kawasaki, Honda, Kawasaki. That is the order at the top of the leaderboard, with John McGuinness in fourth place, ready to cash in if any of those 3 above makes a mistake or hits ill fortune. That's Cameron Donald going through. We've also seen Michael Rutter go through as well, and Guy Martin. So let's see what that means in terms of all the details at the end of the lap. Ryan Farquhar, just to recap, Ryan Farquhar, to give you his lap time and speed for the first time, 18 minutes 22.88 seconds, 123.15. It's Ian Hutchinson we're recapping on, 18 minutes 90.63. That's Adrian Archibald's machine, you can hear, 123.52 miles an hour. And in third place, number 10, Connor Cummins, 18 minutes 27.44, 122.651. Ryan having already broken the lap record for the Superstocks at 129.816 miles per hour. I wonder if he can push it up to that 130 mark on this final lap of the race. Fourth place man, John McGuinness, 18 minutes 30.45 seconds, 122.31 miles per hour. So the leaderboard then, with Farquhar leading by 5.5 seconds from Hutchie. In third place is Connor, 12 seconds down on Ian Hutchinson. In fourth place it's John McGuinness, 18 seconds down on Connor. In fifth it's Guy Martin, 12 seconds down on John. In sixth it's Keith Amor, 2 seconds down on Guy Martin. In seventh it's number 3 Ian Locker, 18 seconds behind Keith. In eighth place it's number 7 Michael Rutter, 10 seconds down on Ian. In ninth it's number 9 Adrian Archibald, 13 seconds down on Michael Rutter. And in 10th place now it is Michael Dunlop, who's managed to get his way back into the top 10. He's 1 3/4 seconds behind Adrian Archibald, and he's managed to displace Cameron Donald down to 11th place. So that is the top 11, with Gary Johnson at the moment occupying 12th place. So on to the final 37 3/4 miles of the mountain course. And is it going to be Ryan Farquhar's first victory here since 2005? Well, remembering last year in this race, he ran out of fuel at Hilbury on the last lap. So please, let's not let that happen again. So Ryan Farquhar, having been momentarily displaced after that pit stop, has got his way right back to the front of the race, and he is leading in Hutchinson by over 5 seconds at the start of the final lap. They're closing in on Glen Helen, and it's on to Dave Christian.
Yes, as machines approaching here, Charlie, through the trees, we've got a couple of back markers, but we've also got Hutchie, who goes right around him on the outside. That's a fantastic bit of overtaking here. I didn't get the slower numbers, I'm afraid, but Hutchie's passed him on the outside here at the left-hander at the bottom of Craig Willie's Hill. Here's McGuinness, super steady as ever. John's away off up the hill as well, hot on Hutchie's heels. And yes, it is fantastic close racing, and the back marker runs through there. That's 79, Mark Herbertson on the Suzuki. He's safely through Glen Helen at the end of what will be his third lap. And yes, those Paget's Hondas in line astern as they head around the course will be a fantastic spectacle. And you know, McGuinness not having the look that he sort of deserves really this week with his record on this circuit, and things just not been going his way. That Superbike finish didn't go his way, and then of course the Supersport this morning. But here's another machine, it's a fast approach. That's Keith Amor and Ian Locker pretty much still together on the road, but Amor ahead on corrected time by 21 seconds. 81 goes through, that's the American CR Guitary. There's 12 and 10, both through close proximity, Ryan Farquhar and Connor Cummins. Farquhar then tops the leaderboard. Hutchinson second, 5.5 seconds behind. Connor in third, 15 seconds back on Hutchinson. That's Guy Martin just here through Glen Helen on his last lap, and he slots into 5th place on the leaderboard. So it's Farquhar 5.5 seconds ahead of Hutchinson. In third place, number 10, Connor Cummins, who's 15 seconds back. Fourth place at the moment, John McGuinness, 18.7 seconds down on Connor. There's Michael Rutter. He's safely through on his last lap, and he slots into 8th place on the leaderboard. So yeah, Guy Martin 14 seconds down on McGuinness in 5th place. There's Cameron Donald. He's safely through, slots into 9th on the leaderboard. So yeah, if Guy Martin 5th, 14 seconds down on McGuinness. In 6th place, number 5, Keith Amor, who's 1.3 seconds down on Guy Martin. In 7th place, number 3, Ian Locker. As Adrian Archibald comes through. In 7th place, Ian Lucker, 21.9 seconds back on Amor. In 8th place, number 7, Michael Rutter, 10.8 seconds down on Lucker. In 9th place, number 9, Adrian Archibald, 11 seconds down on Michael Rutter. And in 10th place, number 6, Cameron Donald, 12 seconds back on Adrian Archibald. And we can pause for breath down here at Glen Helen as the leaders are mostly through. We're just awaiting now number 14, Michael Dunlop, to see whether or not he can make up any of those places he lost with that pit stop. He was in 10th place at the grandstand, but only a second and a half down on Adrian Archibald. So we're just awaiting for a flash of machinery, and here it comes through the trees. 2 bikes together. That's Gary Johnson and Michael Dunlop together, closely followed by backmarker Clinton Pinar. Dunlop then will slot into the leaderboard in 9th place. He has taken Adrian Archibald, and he's 8.9 seconds down on 8th place Michael Rutter. So that just about makes up the top 10 here on this final lap of the Royal London 360 Superstock TT, and the leaderboard at Glen Helen on the final lap. It's Farquhar, number 12, and he is 5.5 seconds clear of second place, number 4, Ian Hutchinson, who doesn't look like he's going to get his double today. In 3rd place, number 10, Connor Cummins. Can Connor get a podium to make up for Saturday's disappointment? 4th place, number 2, John McGuinness, 18 seconds back on Cummins. 5th place, number 8, Guy Martin, 14 seconds back on McGuinness. And 1.3 seconds down on Martin is number 5, Keith Amor, in 6th place. That's still pretty close for Keith. If he puts a spurt on, he might just catch him. Back to the grandstand.
TT is here, and once again the roads are busy with extra bikes and cars visiting the island. Make sure you allow extra time for every trip. Try to avoid busy times of day and listen out for warnings and temporary speed limits around the island. Leave safe gaps when riding in groups, take extra care on our busy roads, and stay alert, stay alive. Brought to you by the Department of Infrastructure's Road Safety Unit.
Would owners of domestic animals and livestock are joining the TT course, please ensure that they are secure during practice and race periods.
TT Race Timing brought to you by Graham London, the official TT timing partner.
Manx Radio TT.
Au début du dernier tour en tête à la sortie de Glen Helen, c'est le numéro 12, Ryan Farquhar, 5,5 secondes d'avance sur le numéro 4, Ian Hutchinson. Lui, 15 secondes d'avance sur le numéro 10, Connor Cummins. Heike.
Ja, in dieser letzten 4. Runde des Superstock-Rennens gibt es keine Veränderung in der Spitzengruppe. Nach wie vor liegt in Führung Ryan Farquhar, die Startnummer 12, mit einem Vorsprung von 5,54 Sekunden auf die Startnummer 4, Ian Hutchinson, gefolgt von Startnummer 10, Connor Cummins, mit einem weiteren Rückstand von 15,1 Sekunden. Hoffnung auf einen Podestplatz für Connor Cummins? Wahrscheinlich. Charlie.
We're in for another tight finish. It is going to be another tight finish, so stand by, because I can tell you at Balaf, Ian Hutchinson has more than half the gap between him and Ryan Farquhar. It's just over 2 seconds now. It was 5.5 seconds, it was Glen Helen. It's 2.04 at Balaf, so Roy Moore, stand by. We need to know exactly what's going on when they get to you in a few moments' time at Ramsey, with Connor Cummins still in 3rd place. News of retirements elsewhere: at Alpine Cottage, number 30, Oliver Linsdell, and at Quarterbridge, number 74, Steve Hennigan. They are both retirements. Maria Costello retired at the pits, but Jenny Tinmouth is still out there with the fastest lap time so far, the fastest lap speed of 114.82. But no time to waste. It's over to you, Roy, crucially at Ramsey.
Yes, they've all been chasing Private Ryan today, but the man who is chasing him at the moment is Ian Hutchinson, and we can't wait until they get through. It's just a privilege to be involved on commentary like this. But onto the view comes number 4. Back end again, shakes there. He's just ahead of a back marker through, but Ian Hutchinson is through. 77 is the back marker there, Gantner. But certainly he's pulled a big lot of time there on John McGuinness. Certainly they were together, or relatively together, the last lap. But Ian Hutchinson is through. We're just waiting now for that difference, and I think John McGuinness is here now. He sweeps round the outside there of number 75. John McGuinness makes Ramsey hairpin for the 4th time. 75 to James Hurrell. I think that was just getting the privilege of being passed by that 15 times TT winner. But John McGuinness on his way and not being able to do anything about this, but it all centres around number 12, Ryan Farquhar. What is going to be the difference here at Ramsey? That certainly is the case, but Michael Dunlop moving up the field as well, and Connor Cummins Cummins holding on to a third place position at the moment, but Ramsey Hairpin indicates that we can't do anything or say anything until that. Another back marker I think comes into view. Could be a big play because there's two of them together. Last year's Southern 100, 76 and 72, cost Ryan Farquhar a possible win at Castletown, and Ian Locker has just nipped up the inside, or Keith O'More has just nipped up the inside there of Ian Locker here at Ramsey, but Ryan Farquhar is here at Ramsey now. Ramsey for Ryan Farquhar, the lead is only 1.82. Connor is through, so is number 79. The lead is only 1.82 seconds that Ryan Farquhar holds the lead over Ian Hutchinson. There's a bit of a difference there between the second and third because Connor Cummins is holding on to that third. 20 seconds, we'll say, the difference between him and Ian Hutchinson. But the big news from Ramsey is Guy Martin goes through. Holding on to fifth place, Guy, is that the lead is down to 1.82 seconds only as they head over the mountain now for the last time. Fantastic racing this is, unbelievably good, and certainly glorious conditions for it as well. And what a way to wake up morning on a Monday. This time last week we were down at Ballown watching the action in the pre-TT Classic. There's another back marker, that's 81, so they're catching him up, but number 7, Michael Rutter, is there. He'll have to give him room. He just waves down to the left-hand side and says, pass me on the left. Let's give it a rundown of the leaderboard. I think this is another back marker that's coming through. It's Ryan Farquhar, number 12, holding on to that lead. Certainly holding on to it, but only just by 1.82 seconds, with in third, number 10, Connor Cummins, 19.99 seconds. Cameron Donald is through Ramsey, down on Ian Hutchinson. Then it's in fourth place, number 2, John McGuinness, 22.43 seconds down on Connor Cummins. In fifth place, number 8, Guy Martin, 16 seconds down, 16.58 to be exact on John McGuinness. With in sixth place, number 5, Keith Amor, 1.59 seconds only down though on Guy Martin, and they'll have a good old battle there too over the mountain. In seventh place it's number 3, Ian Locker, 20 seconds down on Amor. It's then in eighth place number 7, Michael Rutter, 18 seconds down, 18.77 actually to be down on Ian Locker. Within ninth place number 9, Adrian Archibald. And in certainly the way things are shaping up, it's then Cameron Donald, number 6, who is in 11th place, but he's 23 seconds down on Adrian Archibald. Gary Johnson goes through. He slots into 12th place, 9 seconds down on Cameron Donald, as number 11 is here with us now. That is Gary Johnson, yes. He came up on the timing, and he's 9.38 seconds down on Cameron Donald. We can tell you the riders are through the bungalow, so it'll be interesting to see what the difference there is at the bungalow between Ryan Farquhar, number 12, and Ian Hutchinson. Both Ian Hutchinson and John McGuinness are through the bungalow, heading up to the highest point of the circuit there at Brandywell, up amongst the famous Halewood Rise that takes them up to the highest point. And I always maintain that when you sweep round that left-hander at the end of that climb there, that you can see Douglas and all that holds before you. For a TT win, it must be an absolutely magic moment. But Ryan Farquhar, 1.82 seconds ahead. He won't have any opportunity at all to see that. 1.82 seconds is all that matters as they now head down the mountain, I would think. But the news, nothing at the bungalow yet, but the news from Ramsey is that Ian Hutchinson is through the bungalow, but we won't be able to give them the time, and I wouldn't have thought. Yes, we can. We can tell you that Ian Hutchinson leads at the bungalow by 1.29 seconds over Ryan Farquhar. Back to the grandstand.
TT is here, and our roads are extra busy with visiting bikes and cars. Keep a close eye on your children, especially when there are bikes around. Make sure that all pets and livestock are safely secured, especially during busy times. When you're driving, be aware of children and animals. Expect the unexpected. Watch out for extra dangers on the road, and stay alert, stay alive. Brought to you by the Department of Infrastructure's Road Safety Unit.
Would owners of domestic animals and livestock are joining the TT course, please ensure that they are secure during practice and race periods.
TT Race Timing brought to you by Graham London, the official TT timing partner.
Manx Radio TT.
Well, earlier on I saw a man dressed as Darth Vader cycling through the tented village, and no doubt about it, the force looks to be with Ian Hutchinson today. One win already, the winner of course on Saturday, and now he's wrested the lead from Ryan Farquhar at the time when it matters most, and Hutchie is at Cronknymona, confirming the announcement that Roy gave out. 1.29 seconds, that was Hutchie's lead when Ryan Farquhar crossed the tram tracks up at the bungalow. So can Ryan respond in the final few miles of the race? This is going to be really agonising. Hutchie, remember, started at position 4. Ryan started at position 12. 1 minute and 20 seconds the gap between them. That's the target that Ryan has to beat. John McGuinness is now signed at Cronknymona as well, but we've got the stopwatches ready once again at TT 2010, and it's going to be one of those countdowns to see if Ian has done enough, and he's going to have to wait and sweat it out along with the rest of us. Has he done the business again? Here he comes now, he crosses the line and he eases up in the seat, and he's cheered on his way past the grandstand. It's been a superb performance by Ian Hutchinson, and the first 130 mile an hour lap for a Superstock as well. 130.741 by Ian Hutchinson. That is record breaking stuff. Is it enough to clinch the victory? And talking about record speed, I think we need to check Michael Dunlop's speed as well when he comes in, because he has been forging his way up the running order. He was up into 8th place. Of course, he's not going to get on the podium, but it looks like being another fabulous ride by Michael. There comes John McGuinness. McGuinness through at the end of another very capable ride by the King of the Mountains. But is Hutchie on his way to catching up? Is he catching up? Is he catching up? Well, we will see, and it's still very tight at Cronknymona. Ryan is through the Cronk at 1.8 seconds. That is the gap, so it's still Hutchie looking down at the stopwatch now, and the seconds are ticking away. It needs to be less than 1 minute 20. It's coming up to 1 minute now, so we're going to be counting them down. And down there is Hutchie, and he's not completed the journey up to the winner's enclosure yet. And it looks like Hutchie is out of fuel, is he? Either way, he's stopped, but we want to know what's going to be happening with Ryan Farquhar, and we're looking down Glen Crutchery Road. It's coming up to 117, 118, 119. He's not going to make it. He crosses the line now, and the victory is going to go to Ian Hutchinson. Well, less than 2 seconds, I make it. We'll confirm it now. It is the victory to Ian Hutchinson by 1.3 seconds. It's hat-trick Hutchie. He's emulated his great hero David Jeffries by winning 3 TTs in a week, and there are still 2 solo TTs to go. It's Hutchie's victory. Hutchie, Ryan and Connor in that order, and down to Chris Kinley.
Well, he actually run out of fuel actually coming up the return road, Charlie, and listen to this ovation. Absolutely amazing. He just shakes his head. He cannot believe he's done it. And wait till Clive tells him and the boys he's done 130.741. I'm sure Ryan would be very, very disappointed with that. He's just sat here, and Ryan Farquhar comes in on his privately entered KMR machine and gets a second position. The boys just say, "You beauty" to him as he comes in. Just let him soak this in. Now Clive's here now. He was happy before, and he said, "You are the something man." I don't know what that means, but yeah, Clive Paget's right in there as well. So let's maybe get in and grab a word with Hutchie if we can. And his dad's in there as well. Well done. I beg your pardon? 130.791 your last lap, Hutchie. Congratulations, a hat-trick at the TT. You did this last year on this day as well.
Tell you something, I seen -5 and I wanted that. I don't know why, I wanted it. My bike was just getting better and better throughout the race. It just felt amazing.
Were you aware you were going? They always say around here, the smoother you are, the faster you are. Is that how you felt on the last 2 laps?
Yeah, just the bike was feeling a lot better towards the end, but I was just giving it absolutely everything it had. I might as well have been around Donington Park then.
Scratching all over the place, were you?
I was completely sideways at the Craig on the last lap, backing in, and I just give it absolutely everything I could, and just unbelievable, man, unbelievable.
After that pit stop, she didn't seem to fire up straight away, and I thought, you did lose a little bit of time there. 130.7, Clive, yeah?
What is going on?
What's going on? He says, amazing. Shows that the Clive and the Honda boys put a good bike together, hey? Show the boys put a good bike together for you.
Yeah, bike. So this is a bike I won last year, exactly the same bike. You know, it's just an absolute beauty. Clive said, "Shall I build another one?" I said, "Nah, just keep this one."
They'll let you keep it now, do you think?
Hey, I won't mind it.
That'd be nice. But 3 wins, Hutchie. I mean, in a TT week already. You know, 2 in a day yet again. I mean, wow. Yeah. Explain to the fans out there, you know, what this feels like. Explain if you can.
just
can't.
I can't. No, I need to go away now. I just can't even.
You want to go home?
I just can't believe it. You know, it's unbelievable. Unbelievable.
All right, we'll let you soak it and get some water, and Tim will get you again. Well done, Hutch.
Thanks to all my boys doing the pit boards out there. Superb. You know, I couldn't have done it without you. I raced for those boards, so thank you.
Thanks, Hutchie. Well done to Ian Hutchinson there. And Ryan Farquhar just been interviewed for North One TV. Let's have a quick word with the big fella. Connor, well, wasn't to be, but give it a good go.
Yeah, I think it was fairly tight to start, but as the race progressed, they started creeping away, and that last lap, I'm really surprised I finished, to be honest.
Yeah, why was up?
It was exactly the same problems I had on the Superbike the other day, just nipping up at top end, but I was beaten on the day. That's as simple as that, and fair play to the two lads. They rode a great race.
Just having a look at the first lap there, and there was only like about 2 seconds covered the top 10 till he got to about Ramsey.
Yeah, it was a tight one, but no, just thanks to the McAdoo boys and everyone who's helped me out this year. It's fantastic.
And like you said to me before the start of the race about the 600 race this morning, at least you got a finish.
Yeah, that was my main priority today. I wanted to get a finish, and I was feeling good for this race here, but I was long and short of it, I was beat.
Think Winston will be smiling?
Yeah, I think so. Thanks to everyone back there, and Jason, Winston, all the family has been great.
All right, Connor, thanks very much. Another chance for Connor there, and let's get in, have a word with the man from Killyman. Let's have a word with Ryan if we can. Just get in now. He's done with Craig, so, well, nearly, but...
No, I'm happy with that there. I give it 110% the whole way. I always said I wanted to win a superbike race, before I retired, but to me, that's as good as a win,
Looking at the times, and you were 5.5 seconds up on the last lap, and he was just eating that, and everybody was saying, has he got a problem?
No, there's back markers, there's just, I come in behind 3 or 4 slower riders and I just couldn't get past, I just had to roll off the end of Cronky and, through Glen Helen, and, there's nothing you can do about it. The road as hard as I could, but the lap times that I've done today, I'm well pleased with it.
I'm not sure what your last lap was, but we did have 129.816 for your lap coming into the pit stop, I think it was.
Aye, definitely, could have done over 130 in the last lap, but I probably didn't because the back markers, but I'd give it 100%, and big thanks to Nick Morgan, Kawasaki UK, Dunlop, all the lads that has worked hard, and all my personal sponsors, and that has helped me, this year and over the years. Fantastic.
And from a little garage next to your house to be third, and wow.
Just over the moon, like I say, just always said I wanted to win an international superbike race, but to me that's as good as winning an international superbike race.
Well, your last lap was 129.883, just been told.
Definitely, I knew I could have done over 130, if just the back markers messed it for me, but that's racing, that's the way it goes.
Well done, Ryan.
Thank you.
There you go, there's your top 3. Well done to them all. And Charlie, back to you.
Yes, confirmation that Ryan's last lap, 129.883, also breaking the lap record which he himself had set earlier in the race. So it just shows what a splendid performance it was by Ian Hutchinson. That 130.741 miles an hour lap, clinching it for him on the 4th and final lap. And the new race record as well for Hutchie. The old race record has gone by 16.23 seconds. So what can you say? What can you say about Ian Hutchinson? He is now one of the greats. He is now one of the immortals of the mountain course, and it seems to have happened so quickly. He seems to have come through his learning process very, very quickly. But thinking back to the amazing impression he made when he first arrived at the Manx Grand Prix, impressing everybody here on the Isle of Man right from the word go. That was back in 2003 when he arrived on a Honda CBR 600 and became the fastest newcomer ever to have lapped the mountain course in either the Manx Grand Prix or the TT. So I think that was a marker as to what we could expect from Hutchie, but his TT progress has been pretty spectacular, but it's not been without its setbacks. And we certainly think back to the occasion in 2006 in the Supersport race when he finished second, and he was so delighted. It would have been his 3rd podium. He hadn't won a TT at that stage, but he was disqualified for an illegal component, and that was was after setting an unofficial lap record in practice that year, so he was almost inconsolable. But how quickly things change, and now he's not just top of the podium for this race, he is absolutely top dog now in the Isle of Man, no question about that. Okay, let's get up to date with the news for our French and German listeners, starting with Mavis.
Merci Charlie. Nouveau record, le premier tour en plus de 130 miles per hour, soit 2010 km par heure, par le vainqueur Ian Hutchinson, qui a complété la course en 1 heure 10 minutes 41 secondes. Un nouveau record pour la course par 16 secondes, avec une vitesse moyenne pour la course de 210,3 km par heure. En deuxième place, le numéro 12, Ryan Farquhar, en 1 heure 10 minutes 42 secondes, avec une vitesse moyenne de 206 km par heure. Et en troisième, le numéro 10, Connor Cummins, sorte de récompense après la déception samedi, 1 heure 11 minutes 14 secondes, avec une vitesse moyenne de 204,7 km par heure. Heike.
Ja, danke schön, Mavis. Hier geht also jetzt das letzte offizielle Rennen des zweiten Renntages zu Ende, das Superstock-Rennen, und das mit Furore. Mit Furore für Ian Hutchinson. Er hat einen Hattrick erreicht, einen dreifachen Sieg, sein dritter Sieg beim 2010 Isle of Man TT-Rennen, gesponsert von Monster Energy. Herzlichen Glückwunsch an Ian Hutchinson mit einer Rennzeit von 1 Stunde 10 Minuten 41,31 Sekunden und einer Durchschnittsgeschwindigkeit von 206,241 km/h. Und als ob das nicht genug wäre, stellte er gleichzeitig noch einen neuen Rennrekord auf und brach damit seinen eigenen Rekord vom letzten Jahr. Neuer Rennrekord, das sind 16,23 Sekunden schneller. Wer hätte das für möglich gehalten? Aber auch das ist noch nicht genug. Er setzt dem Ganzen noch eins oben auf, nämlich mit der ersten 130er Runde in einem Superstock-Rennen. 130,741 Meilen pro Stunde, das sind 210,49 km/h. An zweiter Stelle Nummer 12 Ryan Farquhar und an dritter Stelle die Nummer 10 Connor Cummins. Zurück an Charlie.
Do you know, of the last 7 solo TT races around this course, 5 have been won by Ian Hutchinson? Absolutely amazing, and he now joins some hallowed company in 6 wins altogether. Jeff Duke, Jimmy Guthrie, Jim Redmond, John Surtees and Ian Hutchinson on 6 TT wins. We've seen absolutely fabulous achievements here today. So just while we're waiting for the podium ceremony to take place, let me give you some of the other placings as well, give you those details which of course are all important. 5th place, Guy Martin. 6th, Keith Amor. 7th, Ian Locker. 8th was Michael Dunlop in the end. And just check on Michael Dunlop's speed for the final lap, 128.573. 9th, Michael Rutter, and 10th was Adrian Archibald, with Cameron Donald taking 11th place. But now I think we're ready to go ahead with the garlanding ceremony. No, we're not. A couple of the Royal London Glamour Girls have made their way up, but we're not quite ready for the riders just yet. I can see that there's still a bit of filming going on down there. I can see the TV camera crews whirring away, and the stills photographers as well, getting some photos of what has been the most amazing occasion. So now I think we are ready, so we'll start with the fanfare. Once again, the scouts with the flags take the flags up to the top of the podium, and it's Connor who leads the way, and Ryan is making his way up there as well. And there is our race winner for Ian Hutchinson, who knows his way up those steps blindfold now. No question about that. And the garlanding ceremony is going to be carried out by Mike Krellin of Royal London 360. So in 3rd place from the Isle of Man, riding a Kawasaki, Connor Cummins. And Connor's got a huge Isle of Man flag there, which he waves as he prepares to receive the garland from Mike, and the cap as well, so that will go on. And the garland is now presented, and Connor has that in a shake of the hand. The runner-up from Northern Ireland, riding a Kawasaki, Ryan Farquhar. And Ryan waves the crash helmet to the crowd, that distinctive crash helmet which has served him well, and certainly helps us as well to spot him in amongst the crowd. A great ride by Ryan today, and very, very close to another win. But the winner of the Superstock TT, sponsored by Royal London 360, from England, riding a Honda, Ian Hutchinson. And Ian salutes the crowd, and he gets an extra round of applause from Mike Crillin as well, himself a former TT rider. He knows what it takes to get round this course. And the garland is placed around Ian's neck. He'll be going to sleep wearing garlands, I would imagine. And now the trophy, the John Hartle trophy, named after a very famous former TT rider, John Hartle, is presented to Hutchie, and Hutchie's going to have to find some more room at home for all these trophies, which are going to be going back with him. And he hoists it aloft and he shows it to the crowd, and the cameras flash down below, and Hutchie is the king of the mountain, the 3 times winner of the TT already in 2010. And now it's time for the national anthem of the United Kingdom. Great stuff, boys. Terrific entertainment being provided by all 3 riders and their teams as Hutchie chucks the winning laurels down to his teammates, and there'll be some celebrations, I would imagine, in the Padgett's team headquarters, and well-deserved as well. And the champagne corks are flying now, and this time they're having a bit of a fizz and a bit of a bubble. And Connor's being forced onto the back foot there, but he responds quickly, and now Hutchie's getting a bit of a dousing as well. Talking about the Scouts earlier on, when they made their way up those steps, this year it's 100 years of the Scouts being involved in the TT. They first acted as signal marshals and first aiders out at the St John's circuit. That was in 1910. And then those duties continued on the mountain circuit for at least a decade, with over 100 scouts around the course, including 4 pairs of cyclists who used to pass messages between Ramsey, Bungalow and the Craig. But of course the scouts are still very much involved these days, operating the scoreboard, which has hardly changed very much in the last 100 years. And over there on the far side of the track at Glencrutchery Road, it tells us the information that the winner of the race is number 4, and that is of course Ian Hutchinson. So they're making their way down, and we'll pick up the press conference when they've had a few moments to collect their thoughts. There's still a bit more action to come, quite apart from those riders that are still circulating. We have another practice lap for the TT0 machines, the electric powered bikes. They're due out a little bit later on before we close down for the day. So let me just give you chapter and verse then for that final lap of the Superstock race. Ian Hutchinson, the fourth and final lap, 17 minutes 18.91 seconds, 130.741 miles per hour, a new lap record. Ryan Farquhar, 17 minutes 25.77 seconds, 129.883. And the third place man, number 10, Connor Cummins, 17 minutes 38.94 seconds, 128.268 miles an hour. And the fourth place finisher was number 2, John McGuinness, 17 minutes 41.96, 127.903 miles per hour. So all that meant that at the end of so much fast and furious racing over 150.92 miles, just 1.31 seconds prevented Ryan Farquhar from taking the victory. But it was Ian Hutchinson who did it, so Hutchinson wins yet again for Honda, with Ryan Farquhar for Kawasaki in second place. Third place, Connor was 31 seconds down on Ryan, also on a Kawasaki. Fourth, number 2, John McGuinness, 21 seconds down on Connor on a Honda. In fifth place, it was number 8, Guy Martin, 14 seconds down on McGuinness. In sixth place, number 5, Keith Amor, 0.1 second down on Guy Martin, so that was very, very close for Keith on the BMW. In seventh place, number 3, Ian Locker, 20 seconds down on Keith. In eighth, it was number 14, Michael Dunlop, 17 seconds down on Ian Locker. Ninth was number 7, Michael Rutter on the HM Plant Honda machine, 4 seconds down on Michael Dunlop. In 10th place, number 9, Adrian Archibald, 10 seconds down on Michael Rutter. Give you a few more placings as well. In 11th place, it was number 6, Cameron Donald. In 12th, it was number 19, James Hillier. 13th place was number 11, Gary Johnson. In 14th place, number 27, James McBride. And in 15th place was number 18, Daniel Neen. One more retirement that's come through late on is number 64, Alan Bud Jackson, a retirement at Windy Corner. And give you a few more of the final placings now. In 16th place, number 22, William Dunlop. Luis Carrera. 18th, number 24, Ian Mackman. 19th, number 32, Stefano Bonetti. And in 20th place, number 33, Jimmy Moore. May as well carry on with a few more. I can hear in my headphones that they're getting ready for the press conference, but I can also tell them it won't be starting just yet, because that's Ryan, who is still out there posing for photographs at the bottom of the podium. Okay, where were we? We got up to 20, 21. 21st place was 17, Mark Miller. 22nd, number 28, Davy Morgan. 23rd, number 34, Stephen Oates. 24th, number 26, Paul Dobbs. 25th was number 38, Antonio Maiso. Now, of course, all these placings also count for a lot more this year, because there is a Privateers Championship going, and that's a really good idea that's been introduced by the organisers to reward those riders who have no works input whatsoever. So we'll hopefully give you a little update on that. But before the start of today's race, of this afternoon's race, I can tell you after 2 races, it was Stephen Oates from the Isle of Man who was leading the Privateers Championship, from Ben Wiley, Davy Morgan, Derek Bryan and James McBride. And there's a top prize of £2,000 to be won for that, with the runner-up taking home £1,000 and the third place privateer taking home £500. So some good stuff there for the guys to be aiming for. What about the women? Jenny Tinmouth has finished, we're not sure where she's finished overall, but she has finished with a best lap of 116.993, and that is a new personal best for Jenny. So that increases the fastest lap by a lady rider. So well done to Jenny Tinmouth, 116.993. Well, now we go downstairs to the Peter Neal Media Centre and Tim Glover.
Yeah, welcome to the Royal London 360 Superstock TT press conference, and our top 3 in 3rd place, Connor Cummins. In 2nd place, Ryan Farquhar, and our winner again, Ian Hutchinson. Well, let's start with 3rd place and Connor Cummins. It makes up a little bit for Saturday.
Yeah, the Saturday was a bit of a disappointment, but we got the first thing I did when I came in is took all the positives from it all really, and sat down with the team and we just concentrate on the week ahead. And we're here today with the 3rd and Superstock Race, and I'm really pleased.
It was always going to be a hot pace. We knew that even before the starters flag went down, but the top 5 on lap 1 went over 128 on Superstock machinery.
Yeah, I didn't actually know that, but that's fast times really for a bike you can just wheel out of a showroom essentially, and it just makes for close race, and I think that's what's happened today.
You fitted in really well with the McAdoo team, haven't you?
Yeah, all the McAdoo guys are really easy to get on with. There's no question about their passion about want to get results, and they put everything they can into the bikes, and it's down to them that I've had good bikes today and all week really to get me 3rd today, and it's a big thank you to them, and all my personal sponsors: Solway Slate and Tile, Poker Stars, Elas, Manx Sports Aid Foundation, Duke, and Houses to Rent, and Elas again. So it's and everyone else has helped me. Thank you very much.
You've been well trained on the PR stuff there.
It's all self-taught.
Looking at the rest of the week, though, you're getting into this press conference podium scenario time after time, it would appear now at TTs, and there's still 2 more races to go.
Yeah, I'd love to have won the race on Saturday, but I've got 2 more chances to try and get it sorted out. But the Poker Stars race would have been a nice one, because they back me as well, and it's greatly received from me, and thanks to them for getting me here today as well. So, but the senior race it's a big one, and a Manx lad to win that would be great. So, we've got Hutchie here and everyone else who's putting fast times into. It's not going to be easy at all. So, but McAdoo bike's flying. Just got to sort the problem we had out on Saturday, which I'm sure he will do, and hopefully we'll be right there.
Well, talking of fast times, 2 131-mile-an-hour laps in this race on Saturday says you're going well. Congratulations today on third place in the Superstock TT. In second place, and another big glug of champagne, I think he's going to be partying tonight, is Ryan Farquhar. A fantastic result for you, and it's a small operation. I know you like it that way better, and you want to take on the big boys.
There's no doubt about that. You know, I give 100% the whole race, and I knew before, you know, we'll come here after the Northwest that the Superstock race is the race we're going to be strongest in. And, you know, right through both nights I took the bike out in practice, were quickest, and I knew, or had a fair idea before the race started, you know, that there's going to be 3 or 4 other riders that, you know, is going to be bang on the pace. And I figured, you know, to win the race you're going to have to do 130 mile an hour, and I was fairly confident that we could do it. But I would just like to thank everybody that's helped me, especially Nick Morgan of MSS Kawasaki. You know, he lent me an engine for today's race, and Kawasaki UK. You know, it's great for Kawasaki to have two bikes in the podium. So really pleased with my result, and a bit disappointed not to win. You know, I think I rode hard enough to win, but I think there's 3 or 4 back markers sort of spoiled it for me in the last lap. Not taking nothing away from Ian. You know, he's on top of his game. He has been all season, you know, and, you know, he's won 3 races this week, so it's not embarrassing sitting here, you know, in second place behind him. But all I can say, I give 100%, and as you say, it's a small operation. I bought the bike myself, I built it, and, you know, I just give 100%, and it wasn't good enough to win, but I'm really pleased to get a second place and almost lap at 130 mile an hour.
You very nearly did, but you had an 8-second lead at one point. You seemed to lose time in the pits.
You know, coming into the pits, I knew, you know, the riders that I come in with, I knew they were up and away before, you know, I don't know, our fuel rig was just too slow, or just seemed to take for ages. But, you know, the lads in the pits done a good job, and, you know, like I say, I'd just like to thank everybody that's helped me. We all give 100%. We were working the bike last night to 11:30, and it just wasn't good enough on the day to win, but we'll be back next year bigger and better.
Good to hear, and a party I would suspect tonight. A nod of the head.
No doubt about that.
No doubt. Congratulations, second place, Ryan Farquhar. Running out of superlatives. First place, Ian Hutchinson in the Royal London 360 Superstock TT. You ducked the question after your win this morning, but 3 wins in the week, 2 in the day again, and you were amongst a very small number that did that last year. I've got to ask you about Phil McCallan's record now. 4 wins. It's on, isn't it?
We'll still see, but for now, I'll just take each one. I need to...
You're still ducking it?
I need to let today sink in. You know, it's the first time it's, you know, really going to take a bit of sinking in. It's been a special week so far.
You said to Chris Kinley before we went live on air that you needed to go and get away from things for a bit just to realise what you've done. It all seems a dream. You're having to pinch yourself.
Yeah, definitely. And, you know, that bike, I was a little bit, not really asleep, but I just wanted to be cautious and not be, you know, too giddy at the start of it, because I don't think we've even done a flying lap in practice on that bike yet. And I just wanted to get a bit of a feel for it first. And, you know, my first board was P4, and I just chipped away really, and the bike just felt better and better throughout the race.
You also did 130.7, a quite incredible speed on a Superstocker.
Yeah, it just don't...
You said it at the press conference, in fairness, that you thought it would go over.
Yeah, well, you know, last year I did 129.7, and we've got a quick shifter this year. We never opted for the kit ECU that you could put on, but we put the quick shifter on, so, you know, all through winter I was like pretty cocky, saying, yeah, we'll be able to do 130, and I've done about 126 in practice. I started going back into my shell thinking there's no chance of 130, but, you know, that...
Well, when they asked what the speed was, Clive Paget and Harvey Beltran, and we said it was 0.7, they went, what, 0.7?
Yeah, it is just unbelievable for what is pretty much a road bike. You know, it's you can look at it whatever you want, and people can say whatever gets done with Superstocks or whatever, but, you know, it is a road bike, and it's unbelievable. But just going on to the last lap, I've never wanted a race as much in my life. I don't know why. I just got this thing in between my teeth, and
but it's becoming a habit.
I overheard Jamie Whittam saying on the line that Hutchie rides these things the best of all, and I must have said that to myself about 10 times going on the last lap. But yeah, it was, and there certainly wasn't a lot left on that last lap. I was just doing massive slides and controlled, but great big slides and backing it in like I was going into Redgate at Donington Park. But we had to get the win.
You've just about sealed the TT Solo Championship already.
Well, yeah, I said that to myself last year when I got up for the senior, but
we won't mention Quarterbridge. Congratulations, ladies and gentlemen, your top 3 in the Royal London 360 Superstock TT. 3rd, Connor Cummins. 2nd, Ryan Farquhar. And a race winner, 3 in a week, Ian Hutchinson.